Your chances are so proud in my dress. They were showing up, but now I know. 你看我给你 rap， 我帮你 rap， 你看。You like the way you look at it much, so baby you should go and let yourself. Cool. And you say that I'm rap. This is something you should go and lock yourself. When you told me that you were having my time, the only problem waited on another. Yeah. Every time you told me my okay. You like I didn't want to write a song, but I didn't want to think it was so casual. You wanna do a choreography together?
Yeah,
a choreography together.
Oh, okay, okay, come on, 你来吧，我帮你 rap.
So you grabs everybody's attention.
No.
Huh?
This is not
Chinese
here.
is shy.
Yeah, Chinese people
very
like
shy.
foreign people. They were just thinking you are strange. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not.
crazy.
Yeah, maybe
We see those people dancing all the time in the TikTok.
that's the time. Yeah,
Isn't that a Chinese thing?
You Chinese thing. They just recording the video and
Yeah,
send to the TikTok. But
yes.
but if you do in this place, they will think you are very strange.
For example, do you ever saw somebody recording for the TikTok in the city or something?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You haven't seen it?
But
I never seen it before, so I just saw in the
no,
TikTok.
I haven't seen they recording something in this university. But I
Well,
have
yes,
seen-
I'm here all the time. I've never seen anyone recording anything
Yeah,
from the
because it's very
TikTok.
strange.
Why would that be standing
I don't know.
inside of the
Maybe it's
university?
Chinese people's tradition. Our mind was not very open
我听不懂。
to this. Yeah.
Because it seems very popular, but I never seen anyone actually
就保
doing
守一
it.
点。
Yeah,
I just saw-
I'm not like ordinary Chinese people. My mind was open. So if someone was dancing, singing there, I will be
Join.
very happy and join it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps you would enjoy?
Yeah, I will be very happy.
So you just
But if
wanted
you
to be the
are
first.
doing it because other
You
people
just
were,
want to be the one who take action to do the first one, but you would join it.
I want to. Oh.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It's there's once when I saw the old ladies dancing in the park together. I tried once. I tried
It's
once.
a playground dance. Yeah. Playground
No,
dance.
they were in the park. They get together and they played some music in the boombox there,
Boombox. Oh.
and they all then do the same movement like
Disco.
together.
Disco.
And then I tried once when I got here. I was in Changsha, but it was very awkward. Like kind of.
yeah.
In big city, many people do this.
I was just walking with a student and I saw this for the first time. So let's try. And I was very
Keep going.
来吧，OK，come on，
because I'm not very good
重新
dancer.
吧，重新开始。
好，
你唱，我帮你 rap。
这个真的不是很熟，熟的话。
那你说哪一首？
我熟中文歌。
哦，哪一首？
啊？rap 什么的。
哪
You wanna listen some rap music？
你知道哪首
Okay, you can go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Yes, go
我一
ahead.
般我没听过啊，你
Go ahead.
哪一首
Are you gonna dance too?
No，
No, I
you're not gonna dance.
just a sing. No.
你会
Rap music usually is followed by somebody's
要嘻
dancing.
哈还是什么？嘻哈还是
中文歌？
薛之谦的我很多都会。
那还是唱 Love Yourself。
What I'm saying is I never
Okay.
saw someone singing happy music without being still. They usually dancing
Yeah.
together and singing.
我们可以试一下今天。
I can't
Just
dance.
Call others dance together. Together.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
那我们3个搞起来就可以了。然后他们一脚来就会那个。
I watch monkey.
No,
monkey. It's like a monkey dancing.
It's a great idea, but it's very good idea.
I'm just trying to make you do something because I'm recording it.
You're recording. Oh.
Yes.
Dance monkey. Have you
Now it's
listened
not a
to-
surprise anymore.
Hello.
Oh, hello, my goodness.
There, sir.
Thanks for coming.
Long time no see. Long time no see.
This is my good friend
your
from the English Corner.
Is your
This is my oldest friend here in Zhejiang. I met him in September last year.
last year.
Yes.
Now is 3.
No, last year, right? So yes, I made a lot of friends here in the English Corner. It's good. So his English is actually good. He's coming here every Wednesday.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yes. So people don't feel like the
我一
how much this English corner helps. It does help. You come here, you have fun, and also get help
Yeah,
to
just
get
for
better
fun,
English.
Just for fun.
No, you come here for fun, but actually your English get better. So it's good.
Another
都行。
another destination.
Yes, it's good.
Have you listened to this song before?
I have listened. Yes.
Dance by Monkey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has
Where's
been
you?
top
Mm.
down the
Where's
bed,
Mm.
55 weeks. In
Oh.
top, in the top. Yeah.
Oh yes.
He's
Very,
American.
very popular, famous,
yeah.
right?
跳起来。
我也唱，我小学的时候跳过街舞，现在但只是跳过一个月，然后就不会跳。
哦这个
我会唱，我会唱，但是有
跳起来，我
点怪。
照一下，把人记出来就好了。
我们跳跳。
Yeah。哦
Ooh, you make me wanna cry.
，Yes，哦
I know I bet to see you dance just one more time.
One more time,
So
oh.
I say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh.
，Yeah，哦
Yeah,
It's really
strange.
good, really good.
Strange.
No, don't be shy. We are.
But you know the lyrics, right?
That's
I don't
what
even know the
myself.
lyrics.
You don't even know the
I
lyrics?
don't even know it.
Oh. And when you're down,
Oh.
I say, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my dear, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. Yeah, just like a monkey, just
Yes.
tonight. Come on, come on. Oh, I see you every time.
Every time 啊。
Yeah, now you dance.
我不会很多，会的话我可以那个。
Star. Oh, you make me wanna cry.
Maybe you can pronounce like a monkey.
Yes, I know. It's very strange lyrics.
Dance for me,
Are you
dance for me, dance
American?
for me, oh.
No, I'm Brazilian.
Brazil. Oh yeah.
I just studied. I just studied in America.
Oh,
Okay.
study.
I had my master degree done in the United States. So I lived there for 1997 to 2001.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me.
1997
Oh.
to 2001.
90,
So 1997, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. Then I returned to Brazil.
Move for me, move for me, move for me, yeah.
So how many times do you stay in China?
Well, this is my third year in China, so almost getting at the same time in China that I spent in United States.
20 US days.
But the thing is, when I was in United States, I learned English. But here in China, I'm not learning Chinese at all. Chinese is being much more difficult.
Are you sure?
Yes, I did. For example, in the United States, after 1 year, I was speaking so-so.
So.
But here, I'm not speaking yet, nothing yet in Chinese.
You can learn English. I think English is really hard.
For example, when I was there, I was going to English school in the morning, and then also the afternoon.
The afternoon.
When I went back home, I was living with an American family.
Married family.
So I had someone to practice. I had someone at home to practice my English. But here, I am not going to Chinese languages, school language.
You don't have a friend to practice your
What I meant is I'm not
Chinese.
having classes in Chinese, and also I'm not. When I speak to students, they always speak back to me in English, not in Chinese. So I'm not learning Chinese.
So maybe you can practice with Mr. Chen.
With whom?
Mr. Chen's Chinese is
Who?
really good.
Who's Mr. What?
Your boss,
Oh, my boss. Yes, Mr. Chen.
a beautiful
Mrs.
girl.
Chen,
A
yeah.
beautiful girl. He's a really nice woman.
But she's-
I really like her. Like her.
She speaks good English. So I don't need to speak in Chinese.
maybe you just don't use it in your life, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like me, I don't use
Yeah,
my English
the thing
in my
is,
life.
I don't feel too much needed. This is why maybe I'm lazy learning.
You can, but you didn't need it.
Yes. If I need it really bad, maybe I should be doing better.
So you every night just stand here
Huh?
and talk with students
No, every night, no, every Wednesday.
every Wednesday.
Yeah, I come here and talk to whatever who comes.
Just you. So
Not
your
just me.
friend, like
No, no.
teacher,
No.
like teacher.
No, today we just, but probably somebody else is gonna arrive more students. So what time is it now? Is it already 7?
Maybe
It's not working.
Better lottery. 1 minute.
Yes,
again.
yes. Not time. Yes, it's supposed to start 7. Okay, it's not working.
我们是9点半那个吧？I don't know. 7点。哎，你是哪学的？
就像不是那个经管学院。哎，你哪里的？
音箱，商音。
上无英语。
学长吗？
你大几？
大一的，我们都是大一的，大3的。哇，
你们挺不错的，比不过你们。
我才刚转来。
你刚转来？
对。
你是大一的吗？
对，我是
大一。哦，从其他专业转到这个商音是吧？
我是菜鸡。
啊？
我是菜鸡。
学长经管好学吗？你什么专业的？
你也是商务英语的吧？
不是
翻译。
都一样，差不多。
口译的是吧？
Yes。
好好学吧，能学到一点东西是一点东西，多学一点。
经管好学吗？我考虑以后。
双学位，先生。
这怎么说呢？该水的还是水的，你们也知道，大一下学期的对吧？
太水了呀！天哪！
该学就学一点，就专业技能的，像什么 Photoshop 的一些就是比较实用性技能的吧，多学一点。如果你不考研的话，就目前这个阶段多学一些实用性的东西，以后工作能用到的，不然浪费了大好时光。
Hello. So let's.
我上次在那个李炯能学这个，那个陈山的。
李炯
是吗？
哦，李勇啊。哦，好巧。
他以前是我们助教。
Let's take a picture together, you and me, and send to our fellow.
You and me.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's take a picture together here. No. Okay, like this.
Maybe I can.
All right. I'm gonna send it to our class.
Oh, maybe you can send me now.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. You can get it here in the group, right? So,
I have 2 WeChat.
Here, class. So let's send it to class.
You found me by this?
You're here in the group, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm a 4081.
English
corners. So ugly.
No.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's good, right? Everyone's gonna
It's not good.
It's good.
No, it's really. Maybe it is good to you, but it's not.
It's good. You came to English Corner. I invite you guys every week. You never came. No one comes. You're the first one who comes.
Okay.
It's good.
Oh shit!
It's holy shit. You can senior, right? It's a good thing. So everyone's supposed to come, just like you, but no one comes. I don't know why. He's my student. He's the first one who comes. I invited them every weekend. Every Wednesday, they never come.
Yeah, I'm not a good student in his class. He always blame me in his class.
No,
you say me, I'm not a good student.
No, you're a good student.
No, I'm not really a good student.
Yeah, photograph ours.
This one is an experiment that I'm running. I bought this small camera 2 weeks ago, and I'm recording everywhere I go. Is that a problem?
No.
So the thing is, my kids, my family, they're always asking, well, how is your life in China? You don't send too much information, you don't send too much news.
Yeah.
So I'm recording myself teaching class, eating in the canteen, and then I post in the YouTube, right? I post in YouTube, and then I send them, well, here's the link, you can watch me here in China, teaching a class, talking to students, having fun here. It's good.
I should want to invite you have a dinner with me, but
yes, I saw your message too late.
Yeah.
And then I send you a message, and then it took a little while to answer. But you can do this another day. I'm here every day. Okay? Don't worry. We will have more chance.
Not food together.
Yes, we'll have another chance. No problem. It's not like today's my last day here, so.
Do you like beer?
I don't drink beer. I don't drink anything with alcohol.
You know smoking. You know beer.
I don't. Yes.
So
no
what do you
smoke.
like?
I like milk.
Milk. Oh, you sure?
Milk, like kids, right? Like small kids, like milk. Milk is good. Milk, juice.
What do you like beer?
Beer has alcohol. Alcohol is not good for me. I don't want it to become
in my
drunk.
opinion, I think all of you are taller and bigger than us.
I'm bigger than one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, your foreigners. I think you are more bigger than our Chinese.
You mean bigger, taller?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taller. Yeah.
But I
Most
think a theory about the milk about a lot of Chinese people.
Well, actually, I was just joking. For example, I don't drink too much milk, but what I'm saying is I never did drink anything with alcohol my whole life. I never become drunk in my life. I don't think it's a good experience to drink alcohol. Because, for example, if I drink a little bit, I'm sure.
I feel it is a fanatic.
Now, for example, if I drink a little bit, for sure I will become drunk very fast because I never did it. For example,
you can practice it.
I don't regret, so I have not many other options. I can drink soda pop, I can drink juice, I can drink tea, I can drink water.
You're just like a kid.
I can drink.
You're just like a kid.
I can drink milk.
Some
right?
habitat.
So it doesn't. Yeah, it's good. Hello.
Oh, so many people.
So we are debating here. So he's asking me. I said I never drink alcohol in my life. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? We are debating.
It's a good thing.
And also,
maybe you can drink with me. No.
Okay, I drink milk and you drink beer.
No,
For example, I don't drink beer because of the alcohol.
You're so boring.
For example, and I also never smoke.
Smoke. Wow, 棒棒.
It's good, right?
Yeah, good. Excellent.
Good, yes.
Pass it.
And I told this guy, you should stop smoking. You're too young. You're gonna be. If you keep smoking, when you get to my age, you're gonna be very weak.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. If you keep smoking like this for 30 years from now,
maybe I'm lucky. I have nothing.
No, you're young. This is why you're still okay.
Yeah, so I feel it is really.
For example, I saw my father die with a throat cancer. It's not pretty. Because
maybe when I am older, I feel a lot of things is boring. So
tell me this, for example, we start smoking as a young person because of the peer pressure. Everyone, well, please, let's have one, right? Because of the peer pressure, we do a lot of stuff. I don't peer pressure because of your friends. Every one of your friends is doing, so they ask you to do it. You start doing it. Isn't that true? So how did you start smoking?
Start smoking 5 years ago.
But why? Is it because of your friends gave it to you?
My friend's father, he smoked, so I smoked with him.
So he gave it to you?
We talked a long time.
But he gave it to you? He gave it to you?
I give it to him.
You did not start smoking by yourself?
It is managed in my China, maybe.
What I'm saying is you did not start by yourself.
Maybe in your country, in United, it is managed.
Another way that I try to say about this is something like that.
So
how much, for example, does someone who is maybe smoke one packet every day, how much does it cost one pack every day?
Yeah.
I mean, how much does it cost one pack of cigarettes? How much does it cost? No. How much, if you're going to buy a cigarette, how much does it cost?
Does it cost?
Yeah, how much a pack of a package of cigarettes?
My
how much?
cigarette is very dirty cheap.
But how much?
How much? 5,
6, 10? Okay, let's say 10 yuan, right? So one every day. Okay?
You don't need to calculate.
No. For example, let's say one every day.
Maybe I with a friend, I wear maybe some
it's not
expensive,
worth
but just for myself, I may it's dirty cheap. Oh, I know Google Translation.
It's not Google. It's not translation. I'm just looking for the
The
calculator.
calculator.
I don't know if I have a calculator.
You don't need to calculate. I know it.
Oh, here's the calculator. So let's say 10 yuan times 365. This is 1 year.
No wonder.
So it's 3,000.
Half over there. Half over there.
For example, times 30 years. This is the difference between you and me. 20 years old and 50, right? So you will be saving 110,000 yuan.
Maybe
Is that a good?
maybe I can earn more money.
So is that a good? Is that a good amount of money?
Maybe I don't care this money in the future.
Well, what I'm saying is, you're not only saving money, you're making your health much better. For example, you're spending this money, and then probably when you get at my age, you have to do some treatment. Maybe you have some, I don't know, if you get cancer, like my grandfather. He smokes so much, right? So you're becoming a better health, and also save that amount of money.
I know a lot of person. He died because of smoking.
Yes, I'm not saying everyone's gonna die because of that, but for example, you can save money and you can have a better health.
It's your opinion. My opinion is different.
For example, let's go and go to the Lushan Mountain and go to the Hao Han Po and see, for example, how well we get to the top. I bet I can beat you because you were smoking too much. You get
kind of persuade me.
No, you get
maybe you can talk with others about other topic.
I mean, you get tired very easily because you smoke so much. Your lungs is not powerful. Is that true?
Yeah. So, sometimes I feel anxious. Maybe I need a.
No, to be honest, I don't care if you smoke or not. It's damaging your body, not mine. That's okay if you smoke.
Yeah, I just feel good, so I can deserve it. I know.
As long as you don't smoke, just like beside me, so I don't smoke your. See?
You just want me to be better.
I'm just giving you a good counsel. Good counsel, good advice.
I know.
So if you stop doing it right now, you're gonna have a better life.
A lot of person will say a lot of good words to persuade someone, but maybe someone just have his own self opinion. You can persuade it.
Yes, I'm not pushing anything. I just respect. If you wanna do it, that's okay. But this is just
it's
my opinion.
It's out to others.
Yes. All right, so. So what is the purpose of the English Corner in your opinion? So why did you came here?
Why did you came here?
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Last term we exchanged our WeChat.
Yes, okay.
And I have heard your speech. My major is interpreter.
Oh, okay, good.
So last time I can remember the exact time, but I just now I saw you.
You just saw me again and then decided to stop here.
Yes.
All right. So what I'm asking, okay, so why did you guys came to English Corner? What is your reason? What's the reason that you came here today?
I'm for fun.
Huh?
I for fun.
That's good, right?
I want to see you. That's nice.
Because, for example, English Corner is you came here to find someone that you can speak in English with, right?
Yeah.
So it's not good if you just stay here, just listen to me. So you need to find another student, make friends, and talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
So and then if you do this is going to be a good activity. Because if you just stay quiet, listen to me, this is not good. For example, I came here every Wednesday, and I love to come here because I meet guys like you.
Every Wednesday came here.
Yes, I came here every Wednesday.
You saw every day.
No, every Wednesday, not every day. Every Wednesday.
Okay.
English Corner is every Wednesday. Every time somebody shows up, I remember the time that almost no one came, we have 3 students. That's okay. I always come here, have fun, make new friends, and also practice my English. Right? So my English is not perfect. So English is my second language. I'm not a native speaker. My first language is Portuguese. Portuguese. I'm from Brazil. I'm not an American. But lots of students say, "Well, you speak English so well. What is your secret?" My secret is because I practice all the time. I'm not better than you. Yes, I'm not better than you.
Can you speak Chinese?
No, I can't speak Chinese.
He's lazy to learn Chinese. He can learn English well.
Can you understand? Do you understand?
No, very little. 你好, 再见, 谢谢,
Nice.
but just a few words. All right, so are you guys willing to teach me Chinese? Are you going to teach me Chinese?
你好
I know ni hao already. Ni hao is the first one that we learn, right?
You can follow with me.
Huh? Practice with you.
你很帅，
你很帅. What's that?
你最棒。
Your Chinese.
Oh, okay.
你最棒。
Okay. All right.
Why don't you repeat me?
Okay. Say it again.
你最棒。
你最棒.
你晚上吃了什么饭？
Say it again. 你的
名字叫什么？
你的叫什么?
What's your name? 你的名字叫什么？
你的名字叫什么?
Maybe you can ask everyone.
Okay. How do
You
you say
can
it?
you can receive it.
This is me asking you what's your name. 你的名
Maybe you can ask everyone.
Okay. How do you say again? 你的名字什么?
Maybe you can ask him.
How do you
Ask
say?
his Chinese
How do you say again?
name.
你的名字什么?
No, with Chinese. 你的名字叫什么？
你的名字叫什么?
Ask him.
你的名字叫什么?
Chen.
Chen.
Chen, yeah.
Chen is your name.
My English name.
Oh, your English name. So how do you say 你的名？
你的名字。
你的名字
is name.
哦，你的名字。
is name. 你的 your.
你的名字
Your name. 你的名字。
你的名字
is what? 你的名字叫什么？
你的名字叫什么?
Maybe you can ask another ladies.
Okay. 你的名字叫什么? 任杰.
You
Okay.
can repeat.
你的名
No, his name.
Her name. How to say it again?
任杰
任杰.
Yeah.
任杰. Nice to
So,
meet you, 任杰.
Next step you will do is what?
Next, I don't know. What's next?
Say hello.
Hello. I don't know how to say.
So now you can remember his name.
No, it's very hard.
You forgot. 任杰.
Ren Jie. Do you have English name? No. Okay. I see.
And you should take her your name.
My name is Professor Gameiro.
Professor? Are you sure, Professor?
Professor is a
Your
title.
name
It's
is
a
not
title.
Professor.
Marcelo Gameiro.
I come from northeast of China.
No, how do you say? Not sister?
就是东北
Dombey?
of China.
Northeast.
Northeast.
Okay. I'll get it. Okay.
那儿怎么说？那里
Where?
So up there is much colder than here, right?
Yeah.
Do you
Very
snow?
cold.
Do you have snow there? Up there? Does it is snow? Snow?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Do you like snow? I love snow. I wanted to see snow here this year, but it didn't snow here.
I love it.
Yes, maybe in mountain, right? Maybe in mountain did snow.
So do you?
So why don't you guys make small groups and talk to each other? This is why you came here, right? If you just keep listening to me, you're not practicing English, right? Right?
Maybe we are in my classmates.
Okay. Because every time is all the same. So people get around me and just listen to me. If I stop talking, everybody is silent.
Sometimes we don't know how to 表达怎么办
Express.
express.
But this is why you came, right? To practice. So don't be afraid to express. So I tell, for example, my students here to actually push them to. Yeah, he's my student. He's the first one who came to English Corner. No one ever came from my class.
You just say.
I just say.
Understanding is his problem.
I just say every Wednesday. Well, today's the English corner. I never seen you guys there. Why don't you go there? He's the first one who came from my class.
Yeah.
Good. So make friends.
Because our building, our house is far away here, so we don't know here.
Now you know here. We live here in the campus.
Just tomorrow I know here, so I come here.
So are you coming here every Wednesday?
Maybe if I have time.
You do have time. You just need to
No, I
come.
need to read some. I need to
Study for my test.
another
right?
course, so I need to test.
Oh, okay,
so I
okay.
need more time to
Okay.
learn.
Okay.
演相声怎么说？
I don't know, tell me.
Let me ask you guys this. How much important do you think English is for you to find a good job after graduation? How important do you think English is for you to find a good job after graduation? Do you think it is important?
毕业后，你觉得英语在以后找工作中有什么重要的作用？
I feel that maybe it is even more important than your graduation certificate. Yes, your diploma is a very important thing. This is why you came here to university. But few of you know the importance of how much English is for your future career.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I remember you teach economics.
Yes, but
You not teach English.
but I came here, for example, my opportunity here in China just happened because I speak English. For example, without speaking English, they would not allow me to come here in China.
How many years you stay in China?
I was not allowed here to come in China because of my degree in university. Actually, I couldn't come without the degree university.
Maybe you can
But
learn.
without English, I also could not come.
Maybe you can learn another
Language, right?
verbal.
Maybe.
Maybe you can learn. You know, we are so hard to understand your word. Maybe you can use Chinese so we can understand.
So they asked me to come here and teach my classes in English, not in Chinese. So you better learn English. English is the international language.
Is kind of
Yes.
methods.
Yes, okay.
International settlement.
Okay, yes.
So do you have any international friends in our school?
Yes, I have a lot of friends here in China.
Are you sure? So why did they come here with you? So
Yes,
that's the one?
I was here with my friends. You saw him, right? I don't know where he is.
We're here.
Huh?
We're here.
Ah, he's somewhere. I don't know. You saw him.
He lost his way.
Yes, because he's making friends with somebody else.
Maybe you can call her.
No, let him be.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for example, he did not came here just because of me. He wants to also make friends and other friends.
Oh,
Let me ask you this. When was the last time you did make a new friend here in the university? When was the last time you did make a new friend here in the university?
My roommate.
Huh?
Roommate.
And when was that? How long ago?
1 year ago.
1 year ago. So you stay here 1 year without making any new friend?
I'm local person. I'm from Zhejiang. I have a lot of friends. I study. I live there. I live there for 9 years.
Okay. So, for example, do you know all these people here?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So, for example, maybe this is the very good opportunity in your life to be in a place that's a lot of people from different places. Because, for example, a lot of students are not from here, Zhejiang, right? They came from their city and live here while they're studying. When they graduate, they go back home, right? So here you can find many different people from around China, right? So when is it going to be again that you have such an opportunity? For example, when you go back home, maybe not, right? When you start working in a company, maybe you have maybe 20 co-workers, but not hundreds of students like this. So here you have a really nice opportunity to make lots of new friends. So I am from Brazil, so I came here. So instead of eating alone in the canteen, instead of staying in my apartment right now, I came here to make friends in English Corner. Every time I go to the canteen, I never sit alone. I sit with a new student. Said, well, can we be friends?
That's why I come this English corner.
Yes. So I'm kind of incentivizing you to do the same. Because if you speak English and have good friends, you're going to find a job much easier when you graduate. I can tell you, for example, this job that I got here, it came through a friend. So a friend actually put my resume in her company, and because of, for example, if I send the resume by myself, they will look me as everyone else. But because of my friend who works in the company, put my resume to human resource. Oh, this is my friend. Can you look at him with care, right? So he gave me an interview, and I started working here. So it was much easier because of my friend. So, for example, when you graduate, you go back to your hometown, and she's going back to her hometown. Maybe she find a job there, but you're talking, right? You have friends, and then maybe your company is going to hire someone, then you remember her. She has maybe the same, I don't know, field, or graduation, whatever, right? For example, my company every year send a letter saying, do you have anyone to refer? Do you know anyone who is in the field of arts? If you refer someone and we hire this person, we give you a bonus. So perhaps if I have a friend in the field that they're asking me for, well, she's graduating the arts, and they are asking somebody to teach arts, and you're graduating from arts. I might remember you and refer you. But if you're not my friend, I don't know you, I'm never going to refer you. So this is the importance of making friends, increasing your network, practicing your English. Right? So when I came here in China, I have no friends at all. I didn't know anyone. But now this is my third year. I'm making friends every day. So I can tell you, every now and then, somebody's asking me if they can hire me. It is because of my friends referring me all the time. Students like you. For example, last month, I had a student who she refers me. So the guy called me and asked, well, I was looking for a teacher to teach in English. And I said, well, I cannot do it because I already have a job. Wouldn't that be nice if the job's looking for you and you don't have to look for jobs? And this is the secret. Yes, but for example, you guys not doing. This is your first time coming here. So why did you start coming here in the beginning of last month? Yes. So, for example, now there's lots of you here, right? Maybe you get disanimated. So I remember I started coming here last October. So it was lots of students, and they're getting colder, right? To December, November is getting colder. So less and less students are coming.
Sir, are you sure they can understand your word?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Maybe some of them
You
will.
just say? You just say?
You speak quickly.
I speak too quickly?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is really hard to ask you know Chinese people.
Okay. Maybe you should stop me and ask. You don't talk anything, so I. Okay.
And you know, sometimes you knew what we don't know, so we can't understand neither.
Okay. Maybe I should listen. Some of you guys. I'm just the one speaking.
To understand, but the main meanings, I think we could understand what you say.
So you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
It's better. This is how it starts.
Try to understand.
You're making fun, right?
Will you feel nervous when
Around
many
you.
people around you?
No. I do this in class every week, right? This is my job. So I have to speak in front of people. That's what I do here. But I can tell you, in the beginning, when I started to be a teacher, I was feeling a little bit nervous. It's normal. But as you keep doing it, you get better. This is why you need practice in everything you do in life. The more you practice, the more you get better. That happens in English when you speak in public. When you speak in public, this is usually most people have a fear about it. This is the most common reason for fear is to speak in public.
So all the words, the Chinese word, you practice more, you can learn well. So why don't you learn it?
I'm practicing every day. English.
I can see every pro.
How you improve English?
How to improve English?
Yeah. Just speaking to others.
This is one way, yes. And I say this is the best way.
Can you sing English song?
Yeah.
Yes, maybe yes, but I'm not a very good singer.
But you can sing.
Yes, everyone can sing.
Maybe it's not good, but you can sing.
But I don't know any lyrics by memory. But for example, if you want to lose your accent, yes, to pronounce better,
Letter songs.
you should sing songs out loud. It helps you to pronounce words better. For example, if you start practicing singing, and then play a music and sing together out loud, this is going to help you lose your accent.
Are you sure?
Sure, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
The praise song.
I sing this. For example, when I was in the United States, I was with my wife, and she was singing all the time. So after 1 year there, when she opens her mouth to speak, no one could tell that she was a foreigner, because she has no accent. But when I opened my mouth, I was already speaking English. But people noticed that I'm foreigner because I still have an accent. I wasn't singing. Because she was singing, he was able to lose her accent. So her pronunciation was much better than mine. Just because she was practicing with singing songs.
I don't follow your opinion. I don't think so.
It's not my opinion, this is facts.
It's your opinion.
Whose song
It's
you
not
like best? Whose song?
I usually prefer songs that are orchestrated, like orchestra. I don't usually sing songs. I usually just songs that play the piano, violin, orchestra. No one is singing. This is my preference. But of course, everyone has their own preferences, right?
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is your first place in China to come?
No, this is my third year. I came here in 2018. And this is my fifth place. I was in Changsha, Zhuzhou, Huzhou, back in Zhuzhou, and now here in Zhuzhou.
I remember you have been Wuhan.
Yes, Wuhan, just for 2 days, for the company meeting.
Company meeting.
They call all the teachers and they have a meeting in the Wuhan.
With Mr. Chen.
Yes, also the employees of the company, yes.
So, how do you think about Mr. Chen?
What I mean? She's helping me with everything here.
With everything?
She's the company representative. So I have every place that I go, I have a company representative. They are responsible for the teachers.
Yeah, it is his job.
She took me to do the exam, renewing my visa and everything.
Why he always come to my class?
Why she always come? She only came twice.
To our class this time and
she only came twice for a few minutes.
You just have 5 class.
She's just checking upon me.
And he came to our class 3 times.
Yes, so maybe she's checking on me if you're doing a good job. I don't know.
Maybe she just
she
pay attention to you.
No, she told me that she was supposed to check every teacher's class. She wasn't doing it last semester, but now I guess she's doing it. It's good. Do you guys have a foreign teacher too? Do you have a foreign teacher?
Yeah.
Yes?
In my high school.
Oh, not here in the university.
Not here.
Oh, okay. So what is your major again?
Accounting.
Accounting. Oh, I see. What is your major? Our classmates here? Huh? Education. Primary education. Oh, okay. So you're gonna be teaching kids, right? When you graduate. Okay.
What do you think of Zhejiang?
Huh?
What do you think of Zhejiang?
I like it here.
Do you like the food?
Huh? Also, I like the food here. I also like
I
it.
think it's a little spicy.
No, you don't know. Hunan is much more spicy.
Oh yeah.
I came
And
from
Sichuan.
Hunan. I come from Hunan, so here there is not spicy comparing to Hunan. Hunan is much more spicy.
No, Hunan and Sichuan and Jiangxi was the most
Spice place.
spicy province in China.
Which one?
Jiangxi,
Jiangxi,
Hunan,
Hunan.
and
Oh, okay.
Sichuan was
So Changsha and Juzhou was in Hunan. So when I was in those cities, I was eating spice food all day long, all the time. So they eat so much spicy there. And I was not used to eat spice food before, but I got used to it because I was living there. In Brazil, we also have only one state who loves spice food, but I'm not from that state.
Do you like the food in our school?
Yes,
I don't really like.
So what year are you here? This is your first year, second year, third year?
I feel terrible. I'm bored.
I'm asking how long are you being here in the university? This is your third year? Third year? Yeah, maybe because you're eating the same food for 3 years.
I feel bored.
You just get sick of it because you're eating too much. But I'm already eating for 1 year and I feel that I still feel it's good.
Just 1 year.
Yes, I came here last year. July.
Last year.
July.
So do you
When I was
have
ti-
been outside?
When I was teaching you online, I was in Juzhou.
So first year you teach us.
So I came here in July, but I was teaching before, right? Online, remember?
Oh yeah, I remember.
So when I was teaching you online, I was in Juzhou.
1 year and a half. You
So
teach us.
I came, yes. And then I came here in July.
Yes.
Huh?
That's true.
Yes, you have been my student for 1 year and a half.
Yeah. My pleasure.
Okay.
I want to know, in your country, how do you learn English?
I didn't learn English in my country. For example, we have classes in school, high school, but I was never able to hold a conversation in English like we are having right now. So I really learned English when I went to United States. I did my master degree in the United States. This is how I learned English. We always studied English before, but I was never good enough to hold a conversation with somebody.
Are you learning English like us from grammar, vocabulary, and so on?
Yes. I mean, using books, trying to memorize. Yes. This is one way of learning English, but it's not the fun or best way. The best way is what we're doing right now, practicing with somebody. Because language is for communication, right? So if you're with someone trying to speak and understand, this is you're trying to practice. This is much better. For example, if you hang with someone and try to practice, your English will get better without studying, without memorizing verbs.
Always lack of this such as opportunity to practice it.
Yeah, this is why it is important to come to activities like this. But also, for example, I cannot practice for you. So you can come here and stay quiet and don't say a word for the whole activity. So you're not practicing. You just came here, but you're just listening. But if you take the effort, like try to make new friends, try to speak in English, then you get the results of your good effort.
But it's just that with students to communicate with English, we often make a lot of grammar mistakes and vocabulary mistakes.
That's okay. That's okay. This is how you learn.
You don't know you have made a mistakes, and he don't know. Your student don't know.
That's okay. Do you think that I start speaking English correctly? Do you still think that my English is still it is perfect? It is not. I still commit lots of mistakes.
In my opinion, I always think your English is perfect.
But it's not. It is not. I bet your Chinese is not perfect.
Not perfect.
Even your own language, you cannot speak 100% correctly. Because language is a dynamic. It's always evolving. You always have something to learn about it, even in your own native language. So don't expect to master a foreign language perfectly, even when you can even not perfect your own language. So people feel like, well, I'm afraid to speak to, for example, when I go to eat in the canteen, I sit with the students. If the students are not majoring in English, and their English is kind of poor, they feel very nervous to have me in their table. They feel like they're afraid to talk to me because they don't want to make a mistake. So they eat very fast, they say goodbye and go away.
Yeah.
So they're just miss the opportunity to make a friends with me and to have someone to practice. This is not how you learn. So you should overcome this fear. It's natural to have this fear. But when, for example, I want to speak, even though if it's wrong, that's okay. Just try to make yourself understood. So when I start learning English, I didn't speak it very well, and I said a lot of mimics. I point out this, a lot of mimic, right? But I was getting better and better every time I tried.
Every day.
Huh?
How you said it every day? You say English every day.
I speak English every day. So
In your country?
no, in my country it's just like you here. Portuguese is the native language. Not everyone speaks English there.
Not everyone speaks English.
Just like here, not everyone speaks English.
Maybe in your mother's place in United States.
But when I went to United States, I went there for the specific purpose to learn English. So I went there. I went to English school in the morning, English school in the afternoon, and when I went back home, I was living with an American family. So I was practice English in the morning, the afternoon, and at home. This is how I got good English, with practice.
Many first too.
For example, do you feel like you need to have a foreigner to practice?
No.
No, you can practice with your Chinese
My
classmates.
first time. It's my first time
It's
to
hard
meet
for
a foreigner.
Chinese to make a foreigner friends.
Yes, I feel like for the many students say, well, I don't practice because I don't have a foreign friend. This is not an excuse. You can practice with your classmates.
Most of my friends were afraid of speaking English because they think they are not perfect. They're not perfect in speaking English. They are afraid of making the mistakes in like that.
And this is why they're not learning, because they're afraid to try.
For most
You're
of
never
us,
gonna get it right in the first time.
the English is for the exam. So we want to make it perfect because we want to get better grades in our examination.
Okay, so this is your reason to learn English, because you want to have a good grades, right?
Yeah.
What is the another reason to learn English? What is the purpose of language skills? What is the main purpose?
I think language is a tool.
Is a tool for what?
To get.
Exactly. Language is a tool for communication. For example, you're using the language of Chinese language to communicate with everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So this is the main purpose of the language. So for example, you're now thinking about English language for the purpose not to communicate, for the purpose to getting good grades. So let me tell you my experience. For example, when I was getting to inside of the university, I need to do a big exam to be accepted to the university. So I needed to memorize English verbs, English rules, grammar, everything. So I did those things. So I memorized it and learned, and I did well in the test. But actually I read a sentence. I knew it was wrong because the verb was in the wrong position, but I didn't know what the meaning of the sentence. Do you understand? So I know the grammar rules, but I didn't know the meaning of the sentence.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward 20 years later, today, right? Today I'm here. I don't remember those grammar rules anymore perfectly.
Grammar is true.
Yes, I don't remember the grammar rules anymore. But if I see a sentence, I can read and understand the meaning. And you ask me, which one do I prefer? To know the rules and not the meaning, or to forget the rules and understand the meaning? I prefer the second. See? It's much better because, for example, with English, I was able to go to the world, come here in China, make good friends because I can talk to anyone in English. Much better than before that I just couldn't talk to anyone. I just knew the grammar. I'm not saying the grammar is not important. It helps you speak correctly. but it does not make up for the main purpose, which is communication. Don't let the grammar becomes more important than the main reason for the language, which is communication. For example, they do a test because they wanted to improve your English, right? So, but don't mix it up the order. The most important thing is the communication. And the grammar is to help you to communicate better and correctly, not the other way around. It's not you speak to feed the grammar. It's the grammar who's helping the communication.
Grammar is too difficult for.
Yes, it is difficult. I understand. I'm not a grammar person too.
I have a grammar book like this.
For example, I much prefer my situation right now that I understand English, that I can talk to everyone, than before that I couldn't talk to anyone, but I remembered all the rules, all the grammar rules. And for example, if I have to do a test in English, I may do well in tests, not because I can explain why the grammar works like this or not, because I'm practicing. I know which is a better way of saying something, because I am reading. For example, reading helps a lot, because when you publish a book, usually it goes for the editor review, they review for grammar and everything. So if you're reading all the time, you're actually seeing how it's the proper way of putting some sentence and phrases, how to spell and everything. So it helps you a lot if you read. So you see the proper way of putting a sentence, how to use the verb, how to use the words. You learn how to spell when you're reading. Lots of people don't have the habit of reading. So reading helps a lot.
Do you think we watch the English movie and listening to the English song help us a lot to learn English?
Yeah, it helps a lot. Yes, it does. When I was in the United States, I choose a movie that I like so much, and I watch it with subtitles. You know, subtitles. They're speaking in English, and also you can read. You can read what they're saying. Subtitles. So I watched the same movie more than 100 times until I learned every word they're saying, what they're saying. So I'm listening and I'm also reading, and also I see the context of the movie. So I learned all the words of that movie. So this is another way of studying.
What movies you recommend?
Well, it's not about the movies that I recommend. You have to choose one movie that you like to. Because if you're watching a movie that you don't like to, you're not very likely to pay too much attention, right? But if you like the movie, you're gonna be watching more than once, right? Usually the movies that you like more.
But the actors speak too fast, so I can't understand.
This is why you need to watch it 100 times, more than once, right? So you can get it correctly. You learn it.
Yes.
So sometimes people say to me, well, you feel like you speak very well. It seems like you're American. Because I'm trying to speak like them. So I needed to listen many different times until I get it correctly, until I get it right. It's not going to happen overnight.
Write them down will be better. Write them down.
Writing is
Write
help.
words.
Yeah, it helps. Yes.
But I think writing skills is hard to improve in English. I think, can you give me some suggestions about how to write in the...
Every language has 4 skills: writing, reading, listening, and speaking. Every time you practice one of those skills, it enforces the other. So it's not a isolate. It's always helping the other. For example, if you practice one, you help all the others. When you're reading, you're learning how to spell, how to write. When you're writing, it helps you fix your memory. When you're speaking, it helps you. It's one helping is always helping the others.
So you think that listening is better? Listen.
What I'm saying is you need to practice. You need to have a balance with 4 of those skills. If you just practice one, you're not gonna get better with the others.
But
Right?
in Chinese universities, we always don't speak English in class. we always trying to express our ideas.
Yes, this is why you need to come to activity like this, because in class usually the teacher speaks more, right? The students usually listen. For example, I give opportunities, right? So the homework is the one that for example, my student, I ask them to volunteer and speak in front of the class to share their answers. So this is an opportunity for them to speak. But of course, I speak most of the time. This is just a small amount of time for every class.
It's hard for us students to create the environment to protect.
But this is why you need to make an effort. For example, this is an activity. Today we have lots of students here, right? But you need to use every opportunity that you find out to practice. So English Corner is one of them. So tomorrow I got invited to go in another activity in the library with some other students.
Can you recommend some activities?
Well, you guys know much more than me, because I need to keep asking students, well, do you have something going on today? Do you have something? I depend on you to invite me for those activities. It's not the other way around. So, for example, when I was eating in the canteen, I was asking, do you know something going on this weekend?
We don't.
Yes, usually classes get together, or English teachers, they put some activities. So I don't know those things by myself. I need to keep asking when I see and a lot of the friends that I make in the canteen, sometimes they remember me, oh teacher, we're going to have this activity tomorrow. Can you come? So it's an English activity, it's something activity. It doesn't have to be an English activity. Sometimes, for example, last semester, before the COVID-19, I was in Huzhou. So the middle of the year is the graduation season, right? So this is when the graduations happen, right? So every class preparing their own party, right, to celebrate their graduation. So I remember when I was in Huzhou, so from the last month of I think it was in July, yes, so we're having graduation party everywhere. So in this gymnasium, stadium, the playground, they have a graduation party outside like this. Some of them inside of the building. So I just saw, well, people are kind of making a party there. I go there just to see it, just to watch it. They have some nice presentations, people dancing, singing, right? And I make friends. I practice my English with some people there. It's good. So actually, I'm making my own opportunities. I'm not waiting for we don't have English Corner, so I cannot practice. Just find
it.
Yes, find yourself an opportunity, right? So it's if you want to do something, you always find a way of doing it.
Sometimes I'm afraid to be a little strange.
You mean?
If I in China to going to meet a person, I said English. I'm afraid.
No, for example, you are a Chinese person. You don't need to start in English. You can start speaking in Chinese, right? So, for example, you are here in the university. When was the last time you make a new friend here?
Last term.
Last term?
Last term.
Why, for example, tomorrow when you go to the canteen, try to eat with somebody new? Just like me, for example, you see a table of students?
I'm afraid that they are not good person. I don't make friends everywhere.
If I was afraid of that, I would not be making so much friends that I'm making right now. Every day I ask a different student to sit together.
Yeah.
And yes, and this is how I'm making friends. So if you are afraid of doing this is why you're not making friends. So this is a good thing. It's gonna feel awkward the first few times, but as you start making friends, you're gonna like it. This is how it happened to me. So when I start coming to people and asking this, I feel a little bit awkward. And some people even say no. They say, "Oh, no. This place is reserved. You cannot sit here." And that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna find someone else. I go to another table.
Yes.
So what I meant, I did not give up. I keep doing it, and this turned out very well for me. This is how I'm making good friends. I can share you, right? I can share with you. I can show you here. Let me show.
Made many Chinese friends, right?
It's not
Low
working.
battery.
I don't know.
You can open
How
it.
long have you lived here?
This is my 3rd year.
What?
Finger is not recognized. Maybe let's try this one.
What country are you come from?
Huh?
Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil.
Yes, Bashi.
也是
So far.
Hey, come here.
What's your major?
I think I have to go.
You go? You're going? Okay.
What's your major
See ya.
in country?
What?
What's your major in country?
What's
major?
My major.
Your major. Major.
I am an agriculture engineer.
Engineer.
And then I need my master's degree in remote sensing and also in marketing. I have 2 masters, one in Brazil and the other one the second one in the United States. This is how I learn English. So, for example, let me show you some of a few friends that I make here.
They all have English names, right?
For example, I make this one in canteen. I took a picture with her, exchange contacts. And this is in the canteen. Let's see another one here. Also, oh no, this is
Can I make a friend with you too?
yes. So, this, for example, after eating with them in the canteen, I start talking to them and as well, can we exchange contacts?
Yes.
And then, this is how I'm making good friends. You should do the same.
Can I exchange WeChat with
Yes,
you?
yes. Only if you promise me you're gonna do the same tomorrow in the canteen.
I got it.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So can I get your return? So can I get your return? Thank you.
Can I make friends with you?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm using Weixin, yes. Okay, let me accept everyone here.
Yeah.
I want to make friends with you. I want to make friends with you.
Okay, just let me accept them first and then I'll put it again, the QR code.
If we make a call to you in the routine, do you feel very
If you make, sorry, say it again, I didn't understand.
if we
Oh.
give you a call in your time, do you will
If you
feel-
give me a car,
if you give you a call,
Car.
a telephone,
oh, phone.
the phone.
That's okay, yes. I guess, no problem. Okay.
One by one.
Oh, teacher, how old are you?
50.
50.
50. Yes.
You look so young.
I'm
Yeah,
from
really,
70.
really.
I think you are 30.
No, I'm 50.
You are handsome.
You see, this is a white hair.
Maybe you can change your color of hair.
If I dye my hair black, they're gonna be look younger. Yes.
Change it as red.
Okay, so I have many new friends now here. So I wanna ask you something. Let me open here again.
How long you have been the China?
3 years.
3 years.
For example, I see here I don't read Chinese, okay? So I don't read your name. And most of you are not using your own picture. So when I open your WeChat, I cannot see your picture and I don't read your name. So it's very hard for me to know that this is your WeChat. So I wanted to take a picture with you guys. Is that okay? One by one.
Okay.
It's okay.
So who is this first person here? For example, who is this person here? Oh no, this is this. Oh no, not this one. Let's say this one here. Who is this person?
And me. It's me.
Okay, let's take a picture. Look in the light here. Okay.
Can you send it to me?
Yes,
when you...
I'll send it to you. Yes, I'll send it to you.
Okay. You're so kind. So kind of you.
So I'm sending it to you, and also this is what I do. I put it in the background. So when I open the WeChat, I know it's your
It's
WeChat.
alright.
I put it in the background.
It's alright.
Next person who I exchange WeChat. Okay, so oh sorry.
好好看啊！
那是你吧？你发了个网吧
This is-？
你跟他拍。
Yes.
是。
Okay, let's take a picture.
好 ，OK。我额头好大耶
What?
，my 这个怎么说？
No, that's okay. Don't worry.
这怎么说
What is the problem? Huh?
？Forehead.
What is the problem?
Forehead is so big.
Ah, don't say that.
Could I make friends with you?
Sure.
Yes. Thank you.
You can send me another picture if you wanted to. Okay? You can send me another picture if you wanted to.
再发一张照片。So good.
It's not working? Did you get it?
没事。Sorry. 上次我照的也好难看。
Okay.
Okay, next person. Who? Okay. So where are you here? Where are you? This one? Let me accept her first.
Okay.
This? Okay.
要把英语锻炼好，然后不用太长。
Thank you.
Next person. Where are you here? This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
你有吗？先扫一下。
Sorry?
我不知道怎么说。
Do you want to exchange WeChat with
Oh,
your
okay.
person?
Okay.
Do you speak Chinese? Can you understand?
Just a few words. I mostly can't. Next person? Okay, so which one are you here? No, it's too much. You're gonna be here in the first. Okay. Is that you?
Yes.
It's a nice day when we are going. We are going to have dinner.
Are you going to have dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have dinner yet.
Yes.
Okay, I have dinner before coming here.
Goodbye.
All right, see you.
Bye.
这不是我吧？
Who is this person?
我。
You?
Yes.
Okay. Just a moment, okay? I want to take a picture with everyone.
Japanese okay. Little.
多种语言可以。
Which one now?
Oh, this is me.
This one.
Thank you.
You okay?
This one. Oh, my name is William.
Okay, English name, right? Okay, come this way.
Teacher, I get you. Oh. Oh no.
Oh, I still have. Okay, we still have to scan. Okay.
Is your English name?
Yes. This is my real name. I don't have. I don't have other names. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I don't have it.
So I show you my English.
Yes, you can write your English name. Yes. This one, right?
Yes. What you usually do in your space time?
I come here, I read, I go to the Aleutian Mountains. Yes, I do a lot of stuff like this.
She wants to ask you some questions.
Okay.
When you first come to China, what do you think of the most difficult problems you think?
You mean my difficult problems? My problems?
Yeah. When you first come to China.
Well, my problem is that I don't speak the local language, so everything is
So
difficult.
how do you solve it?
Well, for example, I work in a company and they have a representative every place that I go. For example, here I have a boss in the international office.
Yeah.
If I run into some problem, I ask her for help. But usually I'm not asking her too much help because I'm asking my friends, my students for help. For example, when I go to the grocery store, I don't know how to do it. I stop somebody. Usually it's easy to find someone who can speak English inside of campus. So this is okay. But my biggest problem is that I don't speak the local language.
Do you come here alone?
Yes, I'm alone here.
So have you adapted to the climate here?
No, the climate is not the problem. Climate is good. Climate.
Last week, Zhejiang was raining every day.
Yes, I like rain. I like snow. I don't mind too much.
Okay.
Hmm?
Rain will disturb your
No. Oh, hello. I'm fine.
I was wondering where the English corner. There is nobody. No, when I reached here, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, who moved the English corner on the top of the area?
I thought I'm never gonna see you again.
Why?
I don't know. We have a really deep conversation last time.
That is not something that will prevent us to meet again.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I talked too much last
No,
time.
it's not gonna happen.
I felt like that. So and then okay, it's better than I see you. Okay. Well, for example, I live in Canada for 2 years. In Canada, in the winter time, so it's getting dark 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's really cold. People stay inside of home most of the time. So most people, sometimes they get depressed because of the weather. It's always cold, it's always rainy, always snowing. So it does affect people's mood.
It here's colder than.
So
Canada.
when you stay in such a weather for a long time, it affects your mood.
Yes, I.
For example, you cannot go outside and play, make sports because it's always very cold. So you always stay inside, cozy, locked down. You don't do too much exercise, and this is not good, right?
So why did the Canadian people put on weight so much?
Weight?
Yeah, weight.
I don't know. Maybe they eat too much. I don't know. For example, I was on vacation here, January and February. I didn't went out much, and when you stay home alone, you have nothing much to do except going and see the fridge there. Oh, it's gonna eat something, and then you eat all day long, and you get weight.
Reading can kill
Huh?
your loneliness.
What?
Reading.
Yes, reading helps a lot. Yes, you need to find something to do.
What kinds of books you like?
Lately, I like to read biography of famous people. I like to read books about psychology, books that teach you something.
Teach you something.
Yes.
Ideas.
For example, body language.
Body language. This is hard to understand.
Yeah, I read lots of books that tells about people skills, interacting, body language, posture, how to speak better, how to make other people like you. Because I was introverted, so I came here in China. My only way of making my Chinese experience good and memorable was if I was start to make friends. I didn't need to do this back home because I have family, I have church friends, but I came here alone. I had no friends at all, so I need to start making my own new friends. So I start reading about it, how to make good friends, how to do it, how to proceed.
You write a diary.
No, I'm not writing a diary. I'm just reading and put in practice what I was reading, and then I read something and I put in practice and see if it works or not. Not everything that I read works, but few of them works, and I'm still doing it. Right? So it's always a learning experience when you to do something different that you've never done before. It's exciting and sometimes a little bit scary, but you start doing it, it becomes normal for you.
So you often read some Chinese words.
Sorry, if I
Words. Chinese words.
trying to learn Chinese words. I'm not
Did you ever read?
read. When I got here, I started to do those online courses, but I got disanimated pretty fast because it was really hard.
Just like us.
Yes.
We always think
Yes.
it's very hard.
But I understand if I keep doing it, probably my Chinese would be much better. But I stopped it, and then maybe months later I start again. Now I'm gonna do this time, right? And then I stop again.
Because Chinese it belongs to a different language system.
Because the thing is, I'm getting by with English, so I find you guys that can speak English, and you guys are helping me everywhere I go here. So I always find someone who can speak English.
So you don't need to study Chinese.
Yes, it makes easier, right? So English is gonna help you wherever you go. Every country has somebody who can speak at least a little bit of English. So if you speak English, you can go everywhere.
It's the world
This is why, for example, if you don't speak English as your native language and you need to choose one language to learn, usually the first option is English because it's the most spoken language in the world. Right? For example, Chinese has a 1.2 billion people here, right? So it's a lot of people.
1.4.
1.4. So it's a lot of people, right? But if you ask how many countries does speak Chinese, maybe only China, right?
Yeah.
Portuguese, Brazil, Portugal, and Nigeria in Africa. Also, I don't know, maybe Macau here has some people who speaks Portuguese there. But only few countries. How many countries does it speak English?
Sorry?
How many countries does it speak English as a language?
America, Canada.
From the top of my mind, United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Philippines.
India.
I have heard that's about 40 countries. So this is why it's, and also, for example, every place that I have been to in my own country, we have lots of English schools like you guys have here. So people are trying to learn English as a way of communicating with the world. For example, Brazil and China are doing a lot of business. They don't speak, when they're doing business together, they don't speak Chinese and they don't speak Portuguese, they speak English. Right? For example, I only was allowed to come here in China. I didn't need to speak Chinese to come in China. I need to speak English. Isn't that ironic? Are you having a good time? English corner?
I'm a photographer. I have taken a lot of pictures. I will send
Good.
to our group later.
Okay. Maybe next time you convince another students to come here too. Another of your friends from class. Invite them to come. Good? Okay.
How is your week?
My week? My week was wonderful, good. I was always having a good time, especially when we have especially when you are not on vacation. Vacation is me time alone. But when we're having classes, I just go outside of home, just go and walk in the playground, eat in the canteen. I'm never alone. It's good. Yeah.
So do you have some favorite food in canteen?
Not actually. I eat everything in the canteen. I like it. But I have one special dish that I learned to love it here. They call it huguo. Huguo.
Hot pot.
Hot pot, yes. Yes.
Every foreign
They like huguo, right?
special.
But it's a really good dish, right? So usually it's best when you eat with some friends because it's very slow, right? You're cooking while you're eating, waiting, and then you're talking. So it's very nice dish to have when you're eating with some friends and have time to spend together.
And it's really healthy.
Yes.
Do you have time to cook Brazilian dishes?
I'm not cooking at all here. I'm not cooking. I'm not very good in cooking. I'm not missing Brazilian food right now. I'm just enjoying the Chinese food. For example, I mean in Brazil?
Yes.
Well, we eat a lot of rice in Brazil. Rice with beans. This is very common. And so I didn't miss rice because we have lots of rice here as well, right? But for example, here I don't see too much beans.
Beans.
Yes. Usually with rice and beans with something else. Very popular, very common to have rice and beans every day. Yes, it's very traditional, right?
Do you often go out?
What?
Do you often go out school?
Not too much. Outside of a university, it's harder to find people who can speak English. For example, if I cannot go to a restaurant outside.
So you have a plan to learning Chinese? Sometimes you.
Well, I kind of sometimes I feel like I wanted to try again, but it's been very hard, and I'm getting by with English, which is make.
But you in China, there have many people speak Chinese. You have a very good surrounding to learn.
Yes, this is the best environment for me to learn Chinese. I understand that. So I couldn't be in I couldn't be in any other place if I wanted to learn Chinese, right? Because I'm in China. So this is the best place to learn Chinese. I understand that. But well, if I really wanted so bad, maybe I would be studying every day, and I would be better in Chinese by now. But because I'm here already 3 years, right? But the thing is, I always find someone who can speak English to help me. So, for example, right now maybe I'm the only foreigner here. You are all Chinese, but you're speaking English, right? So I don't feel like I really need to know Chinese to get by here.
Not necessary.
It's not necessary. It would make my life much easier. I understand that. But also, for example, there are other things in play. For example, the younger you are, it's easier to learn a language. So the older you get, it's becoming harder and harder. It's not impossible. You can always learn something. You can always learn. But for example, this is why a small child, after 1 year, the kids are already speaking the language, right, of their parents, just by hearing, right? Just think about it. Just 1 year is enough for somebody to start to speak in a language for nothing. So kids are this is their best skill. It is learning. The mind, the brain is growing in a fast speed. They're absorbing knowledge everywhere. This is why they learn so fast. So the older you're becoming, it's becoming harder to learn any language. But it's not impossible.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you have any secret to promote pronunciation or improve?
Yes.
How do you do that?
It's not a secret.
How do you do that?
It's not a secret. You need to sing songs out loud.
Really?
Yes. You lose your accent when you do this. You pronounce words better, much better.
Sing songs.
It's not like in your mind, just imagining. You have to sing out loud. Pick a music that you like it, American music, play the song and sing together out loud.
Use by imagination or by mouth?
No, by mouth. This is mean out loud. Singing the song.
God. Oh really?
You need to practice. The more you practice, you for example, the accent is because of your vocal cords are not used to make the American sounds. Because every language has a different sound. So you don't feel awkward saying Chinese sounds because you're doing it all, your whole life. But when you're speaking English sound like World War II, it feels a little bit weird because you're not a natural way. It's a different sound. So when you're singing, you're just exercising your vocal cords. So the more you sing, the more familiar you become. You lose your accent.
Wow, that's cool.
This is the secret.
That's
And
an
I, for
awesome
example,
method.
I have a very nice experience. When I was living in the United States, my wife was with me. And she starts to collecting CDs with the music. And she put the music, not only listen, she was singing together with the music all the time. So after 2 years in the United States, when I opened my mouth, I could speak English well after 2 years there. So I could speak English well, but when I opened my mouth, people noticed that this guy is a foreigner because they noticed my accent. And when she opens her mouth, nobody noticed that she was a foreigner anymore because she was singing so much that she loses the accent. Everyone's thinking, well, they thought I was married to an American girl. Huh?
But when we singing the American songs, but the words will change its pronunciation, so we could understand the meaning, so we can sing well.
Well, you'll never lose completely your accent. You're never going to lose it completely. For example, even here inside of one country. So, for example, if people come from north, they sound a little different, right? So if you listen well, if you train your ear, you can say, well, this guy is from the south of China because the way he speaks the way from the people from north. So even inside of the same language, the same country, you still can pinpoint some differences in the accent.
Well, I have a very interesting secret to tell. Like in America, black people have their own accents and white people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have their way of singing different than
Why? Because they have different muscle memories.
I don't have all the answers. I don't know that.
It's really weird because if he's black, if he opens his mouth, I would know. Even I don't hit his face, see his face, I would know he's black because he has unique accent from
Yes.
white people.
Exactly. Yes. I don't know why.
It's really weird.
Yes, but when you, for example, before I learned English, everyone sounds the same. When I went to United States, and then I started differentiating. For example, people from the capital and people from the interior, they speak different. Usually, people from the city speak different from the people from the interior of the country. We even have a term, for example, in Portuguese we call them caipiras. They're not from the biggest city. They sound different.
So do you think it's the something which helps you lose your accent, right?
Yes, singing song helps a lot
Oh yeah.
with your pronunciation.
Just one way, no other.
Well, this I think this is the best way. Probably there's more ways, for sure.
Did you record your voice and listen to it, or did some muscle training?
No, most people don't like the sound of their own voice.
Seriously?
Yes.
But I do.
Oh, you do. You're an exception. For example, when you record, for example, nowadays everyone can do this. But for example, when I was at your age, we didn't have a YouTuber like people recording themselves and putting outside, right, out there. But because we hear our own sound differently, because the ears is in your head, right? So I hear myself from inside and from outside. So my own sound sounds different when I hear from the recording. For example, it's not. For example, when you hear my recording, you don't know the difference because you're hearing the same. But for me, it's different because when I hear the recording, I just hear my sound not from the inside anymore. Because when I'm speaking, I hear from my ears, and I hear from the inside because my vocal cord is inside of me. So this is why I hear my voice differently when I put in the recording. But most people don't like their own voice.
Most people think that this is a great way to help to improve the spoken English.
Yes. There's a lot of ways to improve, yeah.
You know what? I have been intentionally trained by my teachers and myself to improve my pronunciation in English. So when I record my voice, when I speak English, I can accept it and I can notice how much I've improved. But when I speak Chinese, but it's unacceptable for me to hear because my Mandarin is not standard. It's not like the host in the TV who will give you a very standard, perfect Mandarin. But for me, when I speak Chinese, it's unacceptable. I need to pay attention to the shape of my mouth to speak standard Mandarin.
Okay.
Yeah, just weird.
Yes.
But I haven't totally lost my Chinese accent when I speak English. Even I've trained myself for years. It's really hard. It's not an easy task for a foreigner to learn English. So how can you make it? Do you think it is environment in America to make you sound like a native speaker, or you sing songs which help you do that?
Well, I just told you, singing songs is the best way of doing it. I don't know many other ways of doing it.
So, what the style of music you recommend to us?
Well, it's not what's not the style. You should choose one music that you like it, because you're not gonna be singing a music that you don't like it. So choose one music that has a lyrics, download the lyrics, learn the lyrics, and then start singing out loud. So it's gonna help you exercise your vocal cords to pronounce that sound.
Oh, that's like rap styles. The words is hard to understand.
Yeah, there are some classic musics. I mean, there's some music that the lyrics is kind of trash. They don't say anything, just kind of mumbo jumbo, right? But there's some music who has a good lyrics, good wording. So it's a nice one, so you can learn it and sing it. For example, there are some, but you always wanted to choose some music that you appreciated, that you enjoy singing, right? It's much better. For example, people ask me about, is it help to watch a movie, learn English? Yes, it does. I learned a lot of English when I was just by watching movies.
Movies?
Yes. I put it movies in English, of course. I put the subtitles and I watch it many times until I learn all the words.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
And if it is a movie that you like it, you're most likely to watch more than once, right? But if it's a movie that you hated, it's going to be a pain in the ass to keep watching the movie. So for example, okay.
When you see the movie, do you speak with the character, speaker there?
No, I usually don't. I usually don't do this. Yes, I just put the subtitles so that I can read and listen at the same time.
Listen.
Yes, in this situation, I'm just training my listening and my reading, right? Because sometimes you listen, you don't understand what they're saying. This is why you put a subtitle. So you read and at the same time you listen. So now you get this is what they're saying. Sometimes when you just hear, you cannot understand the difference. For example, there's a lot of people when I was living in the United States, a lot of English teachers in Brazil, they never been abroad. So once I was in the United States, there came this English teacher from Brazil, and she came to the United States, and she could not understand anyone. Because
that's true.
Yes, because she didn't practice her listening. She was not used to listen to American people speak, because people speak fast, right? It's their native language.
Super fast.
But after 1 month, she got enough of used to being around there, so she started understanding. It's not like she didn't know English at all. She was just not able to understand.
You know, you remind me of something. Like American people do speak differently from standard English. They omit sounds.
Yes, this is the.
They will say you have to. They don't say you have to. They say have to. You have to do this. Do this. Like another example would be like they don't say I'm going to. They say I'm gonna.
Yes, this is the slang.
Something
language.
complicated like I got you. They don't say I got you. They say gotcha.
Exactly, and you guys, for example, and we do the same way when you're texting in the cell phone. So you make it shorter. It's easy to write, right? So, for example, I remember when I started using the cell phone, I didn't know many acronyms. For example, people say LOL. LOL is laughing out loud.
Oh yeah, LOL.
People, yes, there are many acronyms like this. So if you never use it before, it's gonna be people talking another language. They don't understand.
In many countries, they speak English very well, but they have their accent and different pronunciation. That's too difficult to understand their speak. Such as Indian, they speak English very well, but it's too difficult to understand, right?
Well, let me tell you this. For example, Brazil and Portugal have the same language. Okay, Brazil was colonized from Portugal. This is why we speak the same language of Portugal. But when I live in Canada, there's this guy from Portugal, and when I hear him speak Portuguese, he sounds my grandpa, because my grandpa came from Portugal. But the thing is, when I first met him, I couldn't understand his speaking Portuguese because his accent was so different. He's speaking in a way very different. But of course, after 1 week, he's speaking the same language, my language. So I just was not understanding him because of the accent. And then after a few hours with him, I started to understand. This is the same thing what happened when the English teachers go to the United States. They never practice listening to the native speaker. They speak so fast. This is why they don't understand. But of course, they pick up the language much faster because they know the language already.
What do you think the English in the UK do?
I've never been to UK, so.
It's easier for you to understand their accent. They speak like a very low position of their voice. It's hard to get.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying they prefer the British English because they sound more gentle, more finesse, more polite, right?
I don't agree with it.
More polite. For example, they say that the American English is kind of more slang.
Oh yeah, but it's freer.
Yes, but this is how people feel about it, right?
Yeah. But I never understand British accent. If they really come from some areas which I never been to or I never heard about, then maybe it's really hard to understand.
But British accent is very great.
Sounds polite.
Yeah, it sounds more polite. Yes.
I will so appreciate that accent. I feel so good. So I want to learn.
And in my experience here, a lot of students go to practice. I mean, when they have a program joint with another foreign university, they usually go to UK, right?
Yeah.
It's cheaper to go to UK than the United States.
Why? Nowadays the pounds of UK is like 9 times than RMB.
Well, the exchanging rates is changing, but for example, I have provided maybe four or five letters of reference from some students who asked me before. Well, can you provide me a letter of reference because I wanted to study abroad, and they asked me a reference letter. And I have a few of them that went to UK.
So you can write a reference.
Well, I write a reference letter if I remember the students. For example, what I'm saying is, for example, I have some students who always sit in the back and never talk to me.
Oh yeah.
So how do I remember them? For example, every term I have 40, sometimes 100 students, right? And then they never talk to me, and then 2 years later they write me, well, teacher, can you provide me a reference letter? And then I tell them, well, let's see. So can you send me a picture? Can you do a video call? I'm gonna look at all the records, but I keep all the grades from my first student when I came here 3 years ago, and I see and try to remember this person. I cannot make up a letter out of nothing, right? This is not the purpose of the letter, right? You cannot invent something that you don't know about the student. But if I see, well, I see them, and I go there and see all their grades, I can say a few words. But for example, this is why I had one very smart student in Jujo. She was sitting in front of the class. She's asking, by the end of the class, she's always asking me something about the class, and then she invites me to eat together a few times. When the class is finished, she actually took me to visit some Buddhist temples.
Wow.
And then she was kind of preparing, right? And later she asked, well, teacher, can you give me a letter of that?
Smart.
It's a nice, for example, yeah, you should learn something. You should learn something, yes. Yeah, you should learn something, yes. So what I'm saying is, I'm not holding anything against her. This is the proper way of doing it.
Her?
Huh?
He said it's him, but
No, he's my student.
yeah, but
For example, I'm incentivizing my students to come to English Corners. He's the first one to come.
oh really?
Every Wednesday morning, because I have classes today in morning, right?
Does he study finance?
Yes, he's studying international settlement. Yes.
Can we take a photo?
Yeah, we can take a photo, yes. Let's take a photo together. Can I be here between the pretty girls? Okay, pretty girls. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah, goodbye.
Is he gonna send me the picture?
Okay.
Can you send me the picture later? Okay. You have my WeChat? Do you have my WeChat already? No, you have my WeChat?
No.
No. Okay, you send me the picture. Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
When we talk in the WeChat.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me. Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay.
I need to go back in my bathroom.
Okay.
See you later.
See you later.
See you next week.
Okay. See you next week. Okay. What? Are you looking for Shuhui?
Yes. I'm looking for.
I don't know. Maybe he went away already. He told me he told me goodbye some time ago.
He has a lot of work to do.
Okay. Do you have a lot of work to do too?
I have, but I don't want to do it.
Okay, I see.
You know, I think our homework is two things. One is to remember some word. Two is to be acquainted with grammar. Just the thing.
Okay.
I think Chairman's ability of speaking English is better. It's more important.
Yes. Okay.
Why do you want to speak English?
I should do it. I major in translation.
Which grade do you belong to? Grade. I mean.
Grade. I'm a sophomore. I'm a freshman. I'm a freshman.
I'm
Freshman.
also a translation major. I belong to the 3rd grade.
Oh, 学姐啊。
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
we should continue the
Yes,
topic.
yes. I was saying something I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
I need to ask you something. Like, how I know English is like a very hypertactic language. It's
It's very what?
hypertactic language.
Oh, okay.
It lay emphasis on grammar.
Oh.
But in Chinese, we don't have such complicated grammar. So when we speak English, we often ignore the grammar. Like, we always forget something. But is it similar to your mother tongue as English? You need to.
My language has a lot of grammar rules as well,
So you are
and they're very
naturally-
similar in some ways, but in other ways they're kind of a different. Of course, every language is different, but we also have a lot of similarity. We use the same alphabet. Some words are even the same in Portuguese and English. For banana is the same.
banana.
Pronunciation is the same. Banana is the same in Portuguese and in English. We have a lot of similar words. Grammars in many ways is kind of similar as well. That helps a lot. I can tell you that. But
It's really hard. You know, pronunciation is a very big task, but grammar is a more difficult task for us because we often ignore them. If I talk to native speaker, he will point out counts of mistakes I made when I speak, like that.
really,
Yeah, because we are not the person who pay attention to grammar when we're speaking. We express our meaning, but
for example, I learned this when I was taking the TESOL certificate. TESOL is a certificate to teach in English, right?
yeah,
So if I'm talking to you right now, we're not in the class, right? So we're just interacting, having a good time, right?
yeah,
So I should not be correcting you all the time, otherwise it would make the conversation very annoying for you.
yeah, really harsh.
Because the most important thing here is to flow the conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
For example, when you're reading a book, you should not stop for every word that you don't know and look in the dictionary. You should keep reading. If you miss this word you don't know, you should skip it and keep reading because it's understanding the whole idea. And then after you finish the whole page and then you go back and look the words that you don't know of. This is a much better way of learning because if you have to stop for every word, you kind of lost. Like the way I took the picture and then I came back. Well, what I was talking about, I forgot it. So you break the line of thinking, and this is kind of a damage a lot for the flow of thinking to learn. For example, when I am in class, for example, if I was teaching English, I said the students say freely. I don't keep interrupting them all the time. And then when they finish, and then I point out, oh, you should do better this, and this. This is a much better way of teaching. But if a person's interrupting all the time, it's gonna be very annoying.
Yeah, it's true, but it's okay if we make mistakes in daily conversation, but if our purpose is to take IELTS, the judge will like be very picky to find your mistakes in grammar. So the problem is how to care about grammar when you speak. When you need to care about the pronunciation, the words, grammar at the same time. It's too hard for Chinese students because we don't have grammar rules.
I feel like you guys feel like the grammar is a barrier.
Yeah.
So you don't speak because you're afraid to speak wrong.
Yes, some of the students are.
You should speak in the way that you make yourself understood. Don't think about grammar. Grammar will come naturally if you're doing the other stuff. For example, if you're reading, there are people who don't like to read. So reading is a very good habit because it helps you with spelling. Because you cannot publish a book without reviewing, having the editor to see if it's correctly written, right? So when you're reading a book, usually it's a good English. So usually it's a good grammar as well. So if you're reading a lot, you know how the proper way of say stuff. you get this from the books. So if you keep doing this activity, it's going to come to you naturally. You're going to implement it in your way of speaking.
Wow, you are really knowledgeable. This method I also know
Yes.
from a video who taught Chinese students to jump out of the grammar rule to.
For example, I was reading books and they say in a way that I never said in my own words, and I thought, well, this is very nice of way of expressing. And then I start using the same way that I got from the book. And I got this from, for example, speakers from the YouTube. Sometimes we listen to a podcast or a lecture or whatever, and I like the way the guy speak, right? So I pay attention. So he used gestures, he used this expression, and I see him using it. So I kind of now I'm learning how to do it.
Oh, that's cool. I feel like pronunciation is really like a habitual thing, because if one day I practice more, I read tons of materials, I will feel like my pronunciation is becoming better. But next day when I start the first sentence, I carry a little bit Chinese accent. It's not as good as yesterday. What do you think of this? How can I like maintain a very good standard of pronunciation?
This is another tip that I give to students. For example, let's say you have a test English to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you should not shift the language on the time of the test. You should be waking up and start speaking English, thinking in English, reading in English, because when you get to the time of the test, you already shift your mind to the English language. Because if you have to shift on the time of the test, you're speaking Chinese, reading Chinese, talking Chinese, and then you have to shift for English all of a sudden. So it takes time for your mind to get in the flow. So it's much better if you do the shift before. It happens in every, for example, if you speak English today and then you don't speak English until next week, when you have to start speaking English, you have a little bit, it's a kind of a...
It's true.
Yes.
Just now when I came here, the first sentence come from my mouth, kind of like my tongue was entangled or something.
Exactly.
It's so hard
yes.
to speak at that
Unless
time.
you're doing this shift every day, like for example, you practice your mother language and English every day, you're shifting very often every day. So it's not, because you're practicing, shifting the language is not becoming a problem anymore, because you're very used to do it. But usually students are not like this. They have a foreign teacher, maybe for example like me, I have classes with my students Wednesday and Friday one week, the other week only Wednesday. And I feel sometimes they don't use English for the whole time when they meet me again. So they have this hard time of shifting the language. They supposed to do better. For example, come to an English corner, talk to each other in English, to practice more, not only with me in class.
You are a really smart man. You have great wisdom of learning a language. It's absolutely true.
It comes to your personal effort.
Yeah.
For example, the university can only do so much. It provides you the teacher, classroom, the infrastructure and everything, but the learning is your responsibility. It's not the university responsibility.
Yeah, that's right.
For example, I didn't come here to learn, right? I'm supposed to be a teacher. But I'm learning a lot. I'm learning about your culture, I'm learning about your ways of doing stuff, I'm learning about... I'm curious, I'm asking a lot of things. When people invite me, oh, let's go to the museum. So let's go, I go there, they explain stuff to me, and it's a learning experience for me, more than you can ever imagine.
I'm interested in Canada. I want to consult you some thing in Canada. What's the weather like there? It's really cold.
It's really cold in this winter. In the summer it can be very hot. I was in Toronto all the time.
Oh, so...
The lowest temperature that I got in Toronto was 40 minus degree.
Oh my god.
Very cold.
What's it like outside? How did you feel at that time?
You need to be careful in some situations. For example, I remember this is our first week there. So we got off the bus a little bit before home, so we need to walk home. And we stayed too longer outside of home. So we were going home, and we got home, so I was without gloves, my wife too without gloves, and we have a little bit of a hard time to actually even open the door because we were kind of getting frozen. And then she was not feeling her hands anymore, And then she entered the bathroom, turned on the hot water, and put her hands in the water. And she wasn't feeling anything. When she starts getting the feelings back, the water was too hot. She burned her hand. For example, if you take a shower and go outside in 40 minus degree, you can break your hair because it's gonna freeze in a few minutes. So you need to be careful a little bit when the temperature is so low.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
Yes,
But the snow scenery is beautiful.
the snow scenery is always beautiful. I feel like that. Yeah.
I heard that the height of the snow can be higher than a man's height. Sometimes it even.
I never been to a place when I see too much snow like this.
Oh.
Never been to a place that
I
is
have
not that
an
much.
American friend who came from Chicago. He said the weather there is like the snow is like this.
Yes, I have only seen those amount of snow in TV.
Oh yeah.
For example, in Utah, when I was living in the United States, just the floor. In Toronto, yeah, not too much amount of snow, just very low temperature, but not that much of snow.
Maybe in the northern part of Canada can.
Yeah, maybe some areas like that. Yeah.
So do you have visit other province in Canada?
In Canada, no. I just stay in Ontario.
Why do you like Canada so much?
Why did I like Canada? Well, the thing is, the first time I went abroad was United States. I stayed there 4 years, and if I had a chance to stay in the United States, I would. But the United States is more complicated, right? So you need to have skills or whatever to apply for the immigration. And Canada was open country to immigrants. They're inviting immigrants all over the world for many decades right now. So I thought it was easier to immigrate to Canada than to United States. And Canada and United States are very similar in many ways. So this is why I ended up going to Canada as an immigrant than the United States.
What do you think are the advantages and the disadvantages of Canada? Both the environment or social background or weather or anything, food or something like culture? Yeah.
Well, Canada, I can tell you, for example, Toronto is a very unique city in the world because many foreigners that are immigrating to Canada, they usually stay in the bigger cities like Toronto, right? So Toronto, you can find people from around the world. For example, you have a Chinese neighborhood, you have a Portuguese neighborhood, and by Portuguese I mean Brazilians, Portugal, and people from Africa who speaks Portuguese. So you can find, this is a very multicultural city. I don't think we can find this anywhere else in the world because Canada is being open to immigration and inviting people, and they are staying in this city, Toronto. So I met a lot of people from many different countries, like India, Chinese. For example, sometimes Japanese, Chinese, and Korean looks the same, right? They're all symbols, right? But they're different, and they have those people there. And it was very interesting experience to live in Canada for those 2 years. I was actually wanting to stay there, so I did an internship in HP, Hewlett Packard, and when I finished the internship, I was going to start applying for a job, right, a better job. And this is when my wife gave up staying in Canada. She said, "Oh, I'm going back to Brazil. I didn't like here too much and whatever."
Why did she hate Canada?
I don't know. Maybe, for example, as I told you about the weather, right? Some people, for example, in Brazil have a lot of, it's a tropical country, right?
Oh, it's hot.
In the winter time there, it's gonna be dark 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
So it's a very cold, so you don't stay outside, right? Because it's very cold.
You mean Canada is dark as well?
Yes. So people sometimes get depressed, especially if you're coming from a tropical country. You're used to the sun all the time, hot, right? Now you have to be all the time with clothing inside the home. It's too cold. You can do, and you go to a country that you want to. You're not your country. You don't have family. You're alone, right? So you need to be able to change your own environment. This is what I was doing here, making friends. Otherwise, I would be feeling China is not a good place.
Everybody, human beings like communication, and they need social connection. It's
Yeah, but when
nature.
you don't do it and it's taking away your family, you're in a different country, different culture, no friends, no nothing, you start feeling very.
Absolutely.
This is a
But
yeah.
I heard that Canadian people are really friendly from my American friends. Me also, myself, I met a bunch of Canadian people before. They are super friendly. Why? Why? I don't know why.
I don't know.
But how do you feel? Like Canadian
Yes,
people?
I didn't feel like a foreigner in Canada. Because, for example, in Toronto, everyone is from outside of Canada. It's very hard to find a native Canadian in Toronto. You need to go outside of Toronto, maybe a small city, and then you find somebody who's already native from Canada. Otherwise, in Toronto, everyone is a foreigner. Because, as I told you, right, all the foreigners come to Canada and they stay in the biggest cities. Toronto is one of them. So Toronto is if you meet someone in the street, probably he's not from Canada. He came from his own country. He immigrates to Canada.
Oh, I
So
saw that.
so for example, like here, I came here in China. I feel like I'm foreigner here, right? Because all you guys are native, you're Chinese. I'm the only one different here. But when I was in Canada, everyone is foreigner. So you don't feel like a stranger there because everyone's in the same situation.
Yeah, it's true. I met.
For example, here I feel that I'm very different. So when I go out in the street, everybody look at me, right? This is a foreigner, right? I'm not like you guys here. But in Canada, I was normal. I was just like everybody else. Everyone's out from outside.
Oh yeah, I met two Canadians. One is a girl who has an Asian face like me. Another is, I think he's sort of like a Muslim. I didn't ask him though, but they are really friendly to me. I was wondering, all Canadian people or most of them are really friendly.
Yeah, they usually are. Yes, I think so.
Will the political affairs complete things in Canada?
So what about the political affairs there? What is the question?
Because
Such as
they
like
give sanctions to Huawei.
too many foreign people to come to
And
their
nowadays,
countries.
people from Asia are facing a hard time. Maybe
Maybe
US,
the race will.
the US
They're facing hard time in
the
what?
US, they have discrimination towards Chinese people.
U.S. having discrimination towards Chinese?
Yeah, because of COVID-19.
Oh,
You haven't seen the news.
not lately about this one. Is this recent?
It's happening.
What kind of discrimination you're talking
I
about?
mean, they are attacked in the US, or it's just
Oh,
like
the Chinese people are being attacked in the U.S. for the COVID-19?
they think
They think that
it's
is,
originated
Asian
from China. They think this, so they hate Chinese people nowadays.
For example, I feel like there's lots of misunderstanding.
Yeah, but people,
Right?
some people are really stupid. They haven't
Yes.
figured it out. They just harbor hatred towards Chinese. But nowadays, those American-born Chinese are facing a very dangerous situation. I'm not saying like everybody is facing, but some people are facing a dangerous, because some people are really like, they hate Chinese, so they will attack them. So I think nowadays few Chinese will go to the US.
I don't know. The last time I went to United States was in 2017 when I visited my kids, and I took my kids to the Aerospace Museum. A lot of airplanes, old airplanes there. We had a lot of fun time there. But the thing is, on that day, I only saw Chinese people in the museum. Can you believe it? There's a lot of buses, they're traveling together, right?
Maybe they are Asians, not Chinese.
No, they're Chinese. I couldn't understand their speaking.
You can understand Chinese.
I could not. I just seen them speaking a foreign language. It was not English.
But it could be Japanese or Korean.
I think it was a Chinese. I think it was a Chinese.
Alright. But
Of course, they are speaking in Chinese between themselves. But when I think I talked to some of them, and because when I went to United States at that time, I was already planning to come to China. So I said, well, I was saw the opportunity, right, to talk to Chinese people. So I went to talk to them.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's cool. I have a teacher who stayed in Alaska for several years for college education. She said in the U.S. you never ask someone who has an Asian face like, "Are you Chinese?" Because people often feel offended because there is a few possibilities. They are Japanese, or they are Chinese, American-born Chinese, or they are Chinese, or they are Korean, or others. But people often feel offended, like
It's not exactly being offended. For example, when I came here, what are Brazilian people are famous for?
soccer,
Soccer, and the other one is
dance.
yes, carnival. So we are internationally famous for soccer and carnival. And it's natural that people, when they find out that I'm Brazilian, that I like soccer and I dance carnival. And this is not true. I don't actually play football, right? And I never dance
I
carnival.
understand your situation.
So every time when somebody find out that I'm Brazilian, they ask me. And I understand why they're asking, right? But some people get so much annoyed because of this, and they become sick of it. Of people are asking, "Well, how you're judging me?" It's like judging the whole country because of things that they do there, right? Not everyone is going to do the same thing, right?
Because they are asked for many times.
Yes, they're asking. For example, here's not happening too often with me, but usually people, when they find out that people usually don't think that I'm Brazilian. They always think that I'm American. And then I tell, well, I'm not
That's true.
American.
Even it's hard for me to distinguish where you come from because
Yes.
your accent is super natural. And
So when I say, oh, no, I'm not American, I'm Brazilian. Oh, you like soccer. Okay. And then comes the second question about carnival. Always the same. So I could say, for example, let's say, I don't know. I don't feel it because I understand it. It's okay. Right? But some people get too much annoyed and they become sick of it. And so when people start asking, again.
You know, what is Chinese famous for? Like Chinese kung fu, martial arts. Then us other foreigners will think all Chinese people. are
Exactly.
like-
They think all Chinese people are good in martial arts and so forth.
Yeah, but not. Only a few of us can do.
Yes, you're generalizing. Yes.
So do you know some Chinese celebrity?
Chinese what? Celebrity. Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. You want?
Well, I know a few Chinese people. Jack Ma, the owner of Alibaba, right?
Oh yes.
Yes.
So-
These two I know the names, right? But I can recognize many others now, but I don't know their names.
So it is hard for you persons to understand the Chinese culture, like kung fu.
I appreciate the culture in many ways, foods and everything. Of course, we always have our differences, right?
Yeah.
As long as we understand and respect each other, I feel like there's room for everybody. I think the world is becoming more polarized. This is why you're seeing so much chaos in the United States right now.
What is polarized?
Polarized is, for example, when you are agreeing something, we're getting close. For example, I have a different view than you, but we're getting towards each other. We're getting close. So we're having a center agreement. When people the beliefs are too far from each other. For example, you believe this, you believe this. It's very opposite. So people are getting polarized. In the politics, this is what happens. When people get into the center, for example, if you believe in more center politics, like a center is very easy to agree with each other, even though if you have different views. But when you're getting distant, the difference is becoming more evident. You are really the opposite, so it's becoming hard to tolerate each other. And this is when people are fighting each other more. And this is happening a lot in the United States right now.
And I do wonder why white people hate black people so much. They say that it's very how to say that? Democracy. Yeah, their democracy is famous all over the world, but they still have discrimination towards
I think it is.
black.
utopic to feel like there is no discrimination, but I feel like United States it is where they have less discrimination in from any other place in the world. A lot of people from Africa want to immigrate to United States. Why do you think that is?
More welfare or more.
Not welfare. United States is the least country that's gonna give them welfare.
Why?
Chinese would be more, because Chinese is a socialist. Chinese is the system that will give more welfare. United States no. United States believes in free market capitalism.
Oh, they think they will suffer from less discrimination.
They wanted to go to United States because they feel like they wanted to live the American dream. What is the American dream? We talk about this, right?
Yeah, everybody can be the president as long as
They put work hard,
yeah.
they feel like they can earn their way of
Yeah.
prosper,
That's
right?
true.
So
For example, there's no perfect system, and even, for example, when I say, for example, I grew up in a free country, right? So when I try to explain, guys, sometimes I feel like this guy doesn't like the way the China system is. It's not like that. What I'm saying is, I can see a lot of people doing bad things in the right-wing politicians. It's not because they're right-wing they're better. I'm not saying this. For example, I believe if we're in the center, it would be much better because we can agree with each other easily instead of just fighting each other more often. Because when you fight each other, both of us end up losing, right? But if you agree in something, then we both end up winning. And this is what happened in the United States. They're losing both sides because they're fighting each other, so much chaos. So for example, one news company are telling lies about the other side, and the other side's telling lies about this side here. So they're losing both ways.
Yeah, it's true.
And this is what you see in the media, right? So a lot of fighting. For example, when you talk about this discriminating black people, so the media is painting too much worse than that really is. It's not that really so much discrimination against black people. This is why the African people wants to go to United States. You can interview a lot of black people there; they don't feel discriminated at all.
But I think there is a speech delivered by Obama. It's like black people are suffering from low education rates. The neighborhood, the people who commit crime.
This is something that they got it wrong. For example, United States has a lot of slavery, right? So, and at one point in the history of the United States, they abolished the slavery, right? So you can find a lot of people who have their grandparents or great grandparents, they're slave, right? And now they're free, right? They're descendants. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, you're talking about the Obama saying what again?
I think black people have low education.
Oh, okay, yes,
rate.
okay, I remember what I was going to say. For example, because of they're kind of feeling guilty that they have make those black people slaves in the past. Now they wanted to put some welfare propositions to help them, right? So they instituted a lot of welfare for the black people. They kind of, for example, they have quotas for them to get into the university. So they don't need to have enough high points in the test to get in there in the university. For example, if you are American Chinese person, you need to have the highest point. The white people need, for example, white people need 100, maybe you need 120, and the black people need 80.
Is this the truth?
Yes, this is true in many universities right now.
Why it's so hard for Chinese? Because Chinese people is the most hardworking people in the world.
Yes, so therefore they're giving quotas to the black people. So they're putting a lot of help for them. Quotas for the university. They have, for example, food stamp. People who are not earning enough money, they have the rights to go, and the government give them food and everything. So they start those welfare situations maybe in 70, 80, 1980s.
I think this will destroy them.
Exactly.
People are getting lazy.
Instead of helping them, is making things worse. So, for example, in the 70s, 80s, when they didn't have those helps for the government, black communities are doing much better.
Wow.
Now they're having all this help from the government, they're doing much worse.
So they have high crime rates and
Exactly.
low education rates.
And they find out in the study there's one big predictor for success in life. And this big predictor is to being raised by both parents. So, for example, black community is the community has most single parenthood. For example, the kids are raising with just the mom or just father. Usually the mom. Usually the mother. So instead of putting a program to give them stuff for free, they should put a program to help families stay together, because this is the biggest predictors. Hey, how long? I haven't seen you. Yes, I thought you went back to your country.
You're
They're still here.
disappearing for a long
Really?
time.
Huh?
You disappeared for a long time.
Yeah, he disappeared. Where have you been?
I'm busy.
Busy. I know his answer.
What are you doing on vacation? You were here, right?
Yeah, I was here
Doing what?
cooking, watching the drama.
Oh, you're not busy then.
Why
I'm
you
not
you
busy.
guys are
I
always
mean now,
together?
not in the vacation, because
okay.
we are brothers, right? 兄弟，知不知道？ So how are you?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
You come to English Corner regularly, right?
Yes, I come here every time.
You start cooking?
In the vacation time, I was cooking.
But
Not
now-
cooking, just salad, right? Just chop.
Invite us sometime, man.
What do you mean sometime?
Invite us. Invite us to
Invite us?
dinner or lunch.
I don't cook, unless you were willing to eat my salad.
Of course I'll eat it.
Okay, then I will invite you.
That will be fun.
Okay.
So how are you doing? You can you go to Jushan or not?
No, I stopped going there. I need to start going back there.
When,
Huh?
So what are you going somewhere else?
No.
Just in school.
Yes, just in school.
Go outside.
Not too much.
Do something.
I only go outside when I'm accompanied by some of you guys, because you guys take care of the talking with somebody else.
You can take her.
Mm.
You can take him outside. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm busy, I told you.
Yeah.
I was not busy in vacation, you are right, because I was just watching. I was chatting with her, right? She sent me messages sometime. She was boring back home. So now,
Shut
come
up.
back.
But in the vacation time, was a desert. Almost no one here in the campus.
Of
Yeah,
course.
everybody go
Yes.
back home.
I feel like I have the whole campus only for me. But
We were also
but everything
here.
was closed, right? So I
How
couldn't
can
eat.
you say only for you? We were also here.
I never saw you here vacation time. I was
Because
walking
I was
around.
every
It was a
time.
desert. I couldn't, but everything also was closed. Canteen was closed. The stores were closed. I couldn't do anything. Yeah.
So what are you doing, Liberty? Did you meet your Lao Xiang?
No, you didn't tell me who she is.
She is the girl who came here. She used to say love and she used to say love.
Love you?
No, no. Really? I love you too.
I mean, she.
No, I mean when she said law, she used to say love. You remember the girl? Her name
I
is.
haven't met her before.
Now her name is Blair, but I don't know her Chinese name.
I think it's the first time you told me that she came from Shandong, but I never met her before.
Oh, she was in Canteen 4. She told me she's boring, so I told her, you have a Lao Xiang here. You're from some hometown. You can meet, but then you told me.
At that time, it was like 9:30. I was about to sleep.
9:30. You sleep really early. Chinese girl. Traditional Chinese girl.
That teacher live where? Where are you live?
I live. Do you know the Bygone House?
White House.
What house?
Yeah.
Behind.
He's the
behind.
president of America.
Oh,
Joe Biden.
so bad.
Yeah, but here they call that house Bygone House.
It's a joke.
That place.
Yes. So my building is behind.
I'm from Pakistan.
Oh, why you live here?
Why do I live here?
I know a
Huh?
teacher
Because-
article. Do you know article?
No,
Teacher.
I don't know.
Why?
I live here because they gave me.
School of Art.
They put me there.
He's thinking about that school of art.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Article. What is
No,
article?
a teacher. He made a mistake saying art is the article. I can understand. From there.
He said that teacher said that.
Yeah,
He said
it's
me to
okay,
me.
no problem. Actually, she pointed out. Why you point fingers on someone? Keep quiet.
You were making
lady.
conflicts here. I mean, I thought he
He
was
is my
mentioning.
brother. Why? How can you say something like this?
I was like, I thought he mentioned his teacher's
don't
name
worry.
is like article.
Where's from there? Gamana.
So black people are being damaged by the policies of the government.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I was shocked that the black guy was killed by a white
Sure.
policeman.
For example, they have this movement that's going on right now in the United States, Black Lives Matter.
You know what's the?
Do you have heard about it? This
I
one?
heard
Yes,
that.
we all heard
What
that.
made me feel really sad is that the last thing came from his mouth was like, "Mom, help me." He was really helpless.
But for example, this movement that you heard about, Black Lives Matter, it starts as a good movement, like to protecting black people. But the founder, the original founder, left out the group. They just don't care about the black people anymore. They're just provoking people to do bad behavior, just like to broke the stores, commerce, and everything, steal stuff, do a lot of really bad behavior. They're not helping black people by promoting just chaos, just
People
like
are
doing.
just releasing their anger because
Yes.
of COVID-19. People are getting depressed.
So though this movement is not a good one.
Yes,
For example, if you read their values, they're looking their website, Black Lives Matter. Their values are not good. They're not promoting good values. They're promoting
hatred.
hatred, discrimination. They're talking about, for example, defunding the police. This is not good. The police is there to maintain the order. So, for example, a lot of black people are depending the police to protect their neighborhood. Now they don't have the police anymore because the movement is kind of put the police away. They don't let the police go into their neighborhood anymore. So black people are feeling hostage from their own people, from their own bad people in their neighborhood, and they don't have the police anymore to protect them.
So do you think this is too crazy for the American people to?
And this is the consequence of being polarized. So people are fighting each other too much, and they're losing, right? This is not good.
Yes, that's true.
I, for example, feel like the government has its own role. So, for example, when you establish a country, the government has the role to provide, for example, the basic health care. But if the government gives people everything, it does not incentivize them for doing for themselves. I run this experiment in my class, as I told you, right? I told my students, well, let's pick everyone's grade, put together, sum and divide it by the number of students, so you have the average. So, for example, you studied hard and you did well on the test. Your grade was 100, and she didn't study nothing, and she did very poor in the test, and her grade was 30. And then 100 plus 30, 130, and divided by 2, you have 55, and she had 55. Do you like it? Why not?
Because I think my rights being break.
Exactly. So I'm taking your labor. You study hard. You deserve a better grade, right? And I gave it to her, right? This is you don't like this, right? But this is the principle of the socialist country. So take from the people who have more and give to the people who have nothing. But if they do this too much, it's take off the incentive for you to study hard. Because if I'm going to take your grade all the time and give it to her, you're going to stop studying hard. What's the point in studying hard if you cannot keep your grade, right? So, for example, this is what happened in the United States. President Trump, he's lowering the tax. He's allowing people to keep what their hard work to keep with them, right? More money. The Biden is the opposite. The Biden is raising the tax. So raising the tax means if you earn more, you're going to take from you and give to the poor people. So it needs to have a balance, right? If you do this too much, you're going to take out the incentive of people working hard. This is why, for example, this is the explanation why the capitalism make a country prosper. So when China opens the door and start adopting the capitalism, it means what? People start investing in the country, they're allowing to keep their own money more, right? So the country starts prospering. So a lot of people are raised from poverty here in China, right? So if the government will say, well, let's take all the money that you make it and give to the poor. So why they're going to keep working hard to make more money if the government's going to take all your money, right? It takes off the incentive. But in the other hand, for example, if the government needs to do the basic, for example, don't let people die. Sometimes they don't have health care, so they need to have the basic. But there are, what I mean, only the basic, right? And there's no perfect system, right? And this is why they're having a lot of chaos. People are fighting for their systems there in the United States. So a lot of people, for example, people who invade the Capitol in the United States, they're invading because they're in the Trump side, right? This is not a good thing, right? This is not a right way of doing. And for example, Trump was not okay in many things that he did. For example, he attacked a lot of institutions there. And I don't feel like this is the right thing to do. Because when you attack the institution, you're attacking the foundation of the power of the country who is established in. For example,
he's a very simple guy. He's a merchant. He always wants money. Money is his biggest purpose. He doesn't care about other things too much.
For example, I heard a speech of a news person who is actually quitting her job, because she felt that she was not actually telling the truth when she was reporting the news, because her boss was telling, well, you should report the news in this way, right? So what I'm saying is, she couldn't actually say the true facts. She needs to put an agenda. And then she quits her job because she felt, I'm not supposed to come here to become a journalist and tell lies. So she quit her job. And he was giving a lecture, and she points out how many lies they told about Trump. So for example, sometimes we have a picture about Trump that is based on what you hear in the news. And there's lots of lies in the news. For example,
the CNN are telling people lies.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And for example, this is not about only CNN. Fox is the right-wing news. She's telling lies about the other side. So they're fighting each other. So they're polarized. They're getting more distant. They're not getting close to the agreement. They're getting more distance. This is why you see a lot of chaos in the United States right now.
I got the reason why people think the government tell them to put on masks is a lie, because their government always lie to them. It's like they never trust the news.
Yes, lots of people are trusting less and less in the news lately.
Even the government tells them the truth, they don't trust them anymore.
For example, Trump was very smart in many ways. For example, he was using, for example, the rise of technology that we have seen nowadays, like social media. So people are starting to get their news, their not only news, but a lot of groups, right? We didn't have this before social media. So, and now people are actually telling fake news, right? They put a picture of this, telling this is happening, and it's not real, so it's fake, right? So there's a lot of manipulation happening. So it's becoming really hard to get your information from a true independent source. Yeah, it's kind of I don't know where this world is going.
What do you think of Obama?
Well, what do you mean? What do you think?
His
If I like
personalities and the morality. I don't know, because I think he's a good guy, but I have an American friend. He said that actually he's not as good as I think, because the news I got was wrong, because it's fake.
Fake news.
Yes. It told me, but I don't know why. Because I heard his speech. I like public speaking, so I'm interested in his speech. But the message conveyed by him in his speech is positive, loving. He's a very good guy, I think. But
For every politician before the election, they promise so much more than they can deliver when they become the president. So it happens all the time. For
it's
every
big.
for every president, so they speak too much about what they're going to do. Sometimes they promise things that even they cannot do it. Because the president has not all the power to do everything that he wants it. And sometimes they promise they will do something, they will not have the power to do it. So they only say those things. They look up. For example, for the people who are not educated enough, they believe it. They don't know if they got elected, they would not have the power to do it. So this is why it's always good to become educated, how your political system works, to participate, to vote, right? But for example, I don't know how here in China we don't have votes, right? I don't know how.
We have no votes, but the vote is always
It's done by representatives.
Representatives. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
You are nodding.
Well, I don't
So
actually.
do you know some know
I never
about
talk
the
too much about politics here, so yes.
in China?
They told me that it was not a subject that is supposed to talk too much. For example, in Brazil, you can talk freely. You can even criticize the government. There's no problem at all.
Just like in America.
Yes.
Sometimes people curse Trump.
Just because we are free to do it. For example, if I if I have a talk with you and start criticizing, not being respectful, not being polite, this is when the polarizing starts to happen, because I'm fighting you, attacking you, and you attack me back, and I attack you. And this is, you see, this is not a good thing, right? Just because we are free to do it, it doesn't mean that we should be doing like attacking each other. But for example, if you are free to say what I'm thinking, and then you hear, oh, you have a good point here. I don't agree with you, but I think you have a good point here. And then I listen to you, not because I want to attack you. So maybe I can learn something from your side. And this is good because you understand my side, I understand your. Maybe you can have a good agreement, and that's better than fighting each other. So when you don't have the freedom to speak your side, how can I reach an agreement that's both good for both sides if I don't know what you're thinking, right? So for example, in the case here of China, I'm not supposed to speak it, right? So you don't know what I'm really thinking. So what I'm pointing out is there is no perfect system. Sometimes we got it wrong in the right side in free countries. Democracy is not the perfect system at all. There's a lot of people stealing money from doing bad stuff, and I believe this is happening all over the world.
So do you think
This is the human nature.
human nature?
You know, you are not naturally good. Ask every parent, what's the most word that they tell their kids? Don't do this, don't touch this, say thank you. Right? They need to raise the kid in a way they can become a good person. So they need to say no a lot for them, and to teach them good things. Because otherwise, for example, kids they don't want to share their toys naturally. They wanted to have their toys. They always want things for himself. So every person who gets too much power becomes corrupted if they don't have good values. So for example, before two presidents in Brazil, you have heard about Lula? No. He was our president for 8 years. And he stole so much money from the country. He ended up in jail. The president of our country ended up in jail. He was got in a corruption so big. For example, Petrobras is the biggest state company in Brazil, oil company. And he stole so much money from that company. Himself and the politicians that was with him in the corruption.
So back to the topic. Do you think speak freely is more benefits or more bad?
I defend the idea of speaking freely.
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
If I don't have freedom of speak what I think, I always going to be living in a for example, how can you make things happen if I cannot speak what I want?
You will be upset or depressed?
For example, I only have to accept the things that are imposed to me.
Yes.
I don't like to live like this.
But in our cities, we always forbidden, just such as talking about political affairs.
For example, I believe the government should interfere in the life of its own citizen for good,
For good.
right? For example, I put a law, a police, right? You should not steal from her, right? I'm protecting in this situation, right? But for example, as a government, not supposed to control your conscience. I don't care if you believe in God or not, as long as you are a good person respecting each other. Right? For example, this is the thing that we have in my country. Everyone is free to go to church. Everyone's free to be atheist. It doesn't matter. The government doesn't care about this. But here in China, I cannot speak about church. Church is mostly forbidden. So why does the government care about this? If people are not harming each other. Mostly the religion is preaching good things, people to be good, to help each other, to do charity. I don't know. For example, I was raised in a free country, so I miss going to church. Every Sunday, if I had a church here, I would go to. For example, in Hangzhou, where I was living in Huzhou there. So I have a small branch of my church. So I went there, and then I realized it's only for foreigners. I could not invite any Chinese person to go to church with me because it's forbidden. I don't understand why the government has such a power on its own citizens for something that's supposed to be good. But if the religion, there's some extremists, this is what I'm telling about polarizing. When people getting polarized, it's becoming worse, right? So people become so extremist. They're doing killing in the name of God. In the name of Allah, they're going to explode himself in the building. This is very extremist. This is not good at all. And then the government should supposed to interfere, not letting those things happening, right? Because this is killing other people. This is not good. But most religions in the world are good ones. Teaching people to be honest, teaching people to do some charity, to help each other, to love each other. Good stuff, right? I don't see why the government is supposed to interfere in that area. This is my opinion, of course, right?
Yeah. What do you think the concept of independence? Because in China, I think Chinese people are not as independent as foreign people, because most people tend to live with their parents, and people are living together or not far from their parents. Like my family, they're like, the kids are not willing to.
You feel like foreign people are more independent?
Foreign people are more independent, but Chinese people, we have a culture that family, it's not wrong that family is important, but our culture is not very independent, because I don't know why.
Maybe you get it. Maybe you're getting it wrong, because, for example, your vision is because of the foreign people that you know here in China, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't meet foreign people in their own country. So, for example, maybe people who went abroad are different. For example, if I talk about my own family, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. They are still living in the same hometown. They're living very close to my parents, so they never went to live far away from them. I am the only one who went abroad.
So you mean those who
So
came
if you're judging
are independent?
Brazilian people, they're too independent. I know this Brazilian teacher. He came here alone in China. He's staying away from his family, so they must not pay. They must not hold the family too much important. But it's not true. All my brothers and sisters are still together in Brazil. They're living very close to my parents. So we are judging for example, let's say my family or Brazilian people based on me. is not completely
I
true. Yeah.
hold the wrong concept that
Yes.
all foreign people are very independent because only a few foreigners
Exactly.
come to China are
The one who
independent.
came here, maybe they are independent, right? So you're judging the ones who came. You're judging their country based on the ones you know here in China.
Yeah, people are easy
Mm.
to make this mistake.
Yes, it's easy to make this mistake. So you need to go and live in their, see their own place there.
But nowadays I'm very confused because definitely independence is a great thing. It helps people to pursue their dreams, have free mindset and free will, and get some detachment from their control of their parents. But people do need families. These are some conflicts that
Family is the basic unit of the
yeah, people need
civilization.
love. Yeah,
Yes.
people need families.
I believe there is no strong countries without weak families.
Yeah, do you think it's controversial between people need families but they also need independence?
Yes.
Do you think it's controversial?
Uh, Not really. They need to have the bonds, right? The
Yeah.
bonds of the family provide, but it does not mean that they have to. I mean, they have to make their own decisions. For example, I got the support from my family to come here. They said, well, if it's good for you, it's gonna be a good experience. Go for it.
Yeah. Do you know
The-
what my grandma did to my dad when
uh.
he started decide that he wanted to stay in another
Uh.
province? Then my grandma said, "Oh, it's too far away. You should come back." Then he came back.
Well, for example, if I was the only kid of my parents, probably I would not be coming here, right?
Oh yeah.
But I have three more brothers, and they didn't want it to. They didn't want it to go anywhere else, right? So they staying together. So I'm not concerned about my parents, because if I was to be the one who's going to take care of them when they get old, probably would not be coming here.
So in Brazil, people do have the tradition of taking care of old people.
Yes.
Oh, in America, I heard that old people are not willing to be taken care of by their kids because they're willing to go to some places.
Nursing homes?
Yes, absolutely.
The thing is, in United States, they don't want to lose their independence.
Yeah, independence is super important.
So, for example, in
America.
Brazil, there's a very common, for example, that a daughter or a son takes the old parents and brings to live with them to be able to care for them better, right? For example, my father right now is very sick. He cannot do anything for himself anymore. He needs help to take a bath. He needs help to eat and everything. So he cannot live alone anymore, right? So in that situation, usually the kid, his son or his daughter, takes him and brings him to live with her in their own home, so they may be able to provide care for them better, right? Usually in the United States, they don't want it to do this. They don't want it to live with their kids in their own home because they have their own home. They feel like if they go to their home, they lose their liberty because they're not in their home anymore. They kind of feel like a guest.
A constrained life.
Yes. So they sometimes, when they have the means, they hire someone to actually live with them, to cleaning, to cook, for whatever, but they still in their home. They still the boss, right? The guy's working for me, and I want to eat this today. But if they're in there living with their kids, they have to follow, yes. So a lot of parents who have the means to hire someone, they do it. And sometimes they go in the nursing home because they are hiring the nursing home. They're the boss, right? I wanted to eat this menu. They're kind of more in control. They feel like this, right? And it's pretty understandable. It's a part of their culture. It's not because of they're better or worse than anyone else.
So do you think that it's necessary to a person to jump to their comfortable zones to gain more independence?
When you are given more liberty as a kid, you become more independent. For example, this is why, again, usually it's good for the kids to be raised with both parents at home. Usually the mother are more nurturing, more protective, and the father is more relaxed. Go there, play. If he jumps here and falls, well, that's okay. This is how he learns to be more careful next time, right? the mother doesn't feel like this, like protecting more. So the child needs to have the both sides, right? I feel like this. Huh?
Balance between them is very difficult.
But when they have both of them at home, being raised by both parents, and for example, usually because of the father, kids learn to be more aggressive, and because of the mother, they need to be more nice, more kind.
Yeah.
Usually, this is the way it happens more often or not, right?
I heard that the mindset of men and women are totally different. It's like mom are more caring and dad pursue their own career. I heard a interview from the US. It's like when the interviewer asks some pedestrians about which day is your kid's birthday. Mom can remember all, but dad
Yes, exactly,
cannot.
exactly. Dad are more relaxed in those things.
Oh, so what's the mindset, man? Like, I'm really interested in because it's hard for me to.
For example, I remember when I got divorced, I put a list of the family on my wife's side, because I still wanted to be able to make contact with them. I didn't accept divorce right away, so I didn't want it to be thrown away from the family. So I put a list because I didn't know by memory their anniversaries, my nieces and nephews.
Oh my God.
So because I didn't have my wife anymore to remind me, so I put a list. But then things didn't work out, so I don't have more contact with her side of the family. I don't even want to talk to them anymore because it's not good. They really don't want to do anything with me anymore.
It's okay
So
if
yeah.
you start in your life, not.
Yes, it's better that I stop talking to them. But the thing is, I didn't know by memory
Oh, I got you.
their
Yeah,
birthdays and
it's
everything.
so weird. It's always hard for women to understand men. That's the main conflict after marriage. Is like women are more emotional.
Marriage is a learning process. It's very interesting because we are so different.
Yeah, women are more emotional. Actually, if when it comes to disagreements and conflicts, men are always like, you guys talk about the logics, the reasons, but women just need care and you understand me. But you guys are keeping talking about logic, so women get angry that you don't care about me.
One of the most fascinating books that I read about is the difference between men and women.
Yeah, what's it like?
It's a very interesting book when they talk about psychology of women, psychology of men. So if you don't understand the other side, it's very hard to.
Yeah, there will be a lot of problems.
Yes.
But I think that the charming thing is we are so different. The difference is amazing. So we just accept it.
But when you got a wife, you will have a different
But
view.
when you learn to live with the difference, is much better than to live with someone exactly like you. It'll be very boring,
it's
nothing to
really
learn, right?
boring.
Yeah, it'll be very boring, nothing to learn.
The challenging is ahead of us. It's like we need to start to observe what's it like, the different lifestyle, the different manner of people. It's so hard. It's just like what you said. Like it's a learning process.
Yes.
Oh, I'm still too young to see this.
See what?
See,
Discuss the
what happened after marriage?
marriage is a tough question.
Yeah, it's.
So what is the average?
你的老乡
Oh, lucky. Oh.
加微信
You are from
姐妹
Qingdao, right?
Oh, no,
That's
no.
all.
From, who said I'm from Qingdao?
You are from Shandong but not from Qingdao.
But how she know I'm from?
Where are you from? Let me guess.
淄博。
咱们
哦，
是
淄博。
老乡。
我老家是那个环台的。
啊，你是环台的。He told you I'm from 青岛。
No, no, I didn't say Qingdao. I said
Maybe I forget. Maybe I just
What course
missed
are
it.
you?
Teaching?
What's your
I'm
major?
teaching international settlement.
Your English is perfect.
现在有姐妹了哈。
My major
不
is
要无聊，真
哦
的聊，
，OK
大家好无聊。
I should thank you.
finance.
Of course you should thank me.
Yeah. Banana.
Harkala
Oh
Rashi.
yes.
I do. You know Russian? No, it's a word.
It's my
Are you in
Pakistani name.
economic management school?
Manana.
Yes.
Shukriya. Manana. Mean thank you.
I know. Then the
Do you think that it is hard to understand the
Manana
economic?
also exists in Spanish.
If it is hard to understand economic,
Manama.
For you?
Manana.
not really.
Yeah,
But for me,
you know
I think that
Salange
economic,
in Hango.
Western economics,
It's called I love you.
the
For example,
lesson
I-
is hard to
Mean how are you?
understand.
My mother.
I understand more of the concept than how to do the calculations.
Salam.
Salam
For example,
is
I can
ni hao.
explain a concept in economics,
Yuan li ping an.
but it'll be a little bit hard for me to show you the math behind the concept.
My math is too poor.
So what I'm saying, there's two, for example, two different distinctions. One of them is the concept. Yeah, I can explain the concept for you, but it's very hard for me to prove showing you the math that goes behind the concept.
It's really hard for me to feel
They had the
so
same.
natural.
For example, and for you to be a good administrator, you don't have to understand, you don't have to be able to calculate the numbers. You need to understand the concept. Because, for example, you're the manager, you're making decisions where the company goes. But you have accounting people who do the numbers for you. So you need to understand the numbers, you don't need to make the numbers. So the accounting people knows how to work with the numbers, collect the numbers, prepare the reports for you. You just need to understand how the report means.
No, I keep
So this is about understanding the concept, not understanding the math, how to do the math.
I have the same point to you.
They call this managerial accounting. So you're not going to the accounting itself by understanding the numbers. You're just understanding the managerial concept. So you're using the finance to make good decisions. You're not actually understanding how to calculate the finance.
But I think that in our class, our teachers will always focus on the calculating but not just the
Well, here you're studying everything, right? But for example, maybe your aim is to become a manager, or if your aim is to become an accountant, maybe you understand deeper the math. But if you're going to want to be a manager, maybe you understand the concept. It depends where you want to go, right?
Are you kidding me?
And I suggest you go with the place that you have more enjoyment. So if you have more enjoyment in the taking decisions, you should aim to be a manager. If you have more enjoyment doing the calculations and everything, working with spreadsheet numbers, and then you should be accountant, right?
Maybe I will go to abroad to study. I might have a question about do you have writing the
Reference letter?
Are
you well?
So I think that this is the great background for me to apply the great universities.
But we need to have a relationship for me to write your reference letter. So you have to be my student. You have to be.
How to become your student.
For example, I did wrote a reference letter for example, I was working in the company. The company always has a representative in the place that I am. For example, here in Zhejiang is Miss Chen. She's working at the international office.
Can you give me some?
For example, Miss Chen, I was working with her for more than a year right now. For example, if she leaves the company and asks me for a reference letter, I can tell her I know her. She's been providing a good service, good for me here in Zhejiang. She's a good worker. But for example, or my students, right? I can tell something like, my students, he works so hard, he's sitting in the front, he's participating, his grade is such and such, very good grades. But if I just got to know you here in the English corner, we need to have a better relationship for me to write a letter.
Okay, give me.
For example, if I write, I just met this guy in the English corner, I just met him once.
Yes.
It doesn't say too much, right?
Can you give me his numbers? I want to.
You wanna? Oh, what?
His number.
From whom?
Phone number.
Oh, my number? Oh, okay.
I want
you.
to contact him.
Him who?
Chen.
Oh, Miss Chen.
Miss Chen.
Do you know her?
I don't know her. I want to consult the problem.
Brother from another mother.
So you don't know her, right?
No, I don't know her.
Oh. So why do you want to talk to her then?
Because you say something.
No, I'm just telling. For example, if she wants a reference letter from me, because she was working with me, so I know her for a whole year that she was working together with me. So I can provide a letter of reference for the people that I'm working with, that I have a relationship with. For example, my student, I have a relationship of teacher and student. With her, my relationship is a working relationship. I am employed, she's my supervisor. So I can tell about her in the supervisory position that she has right now. So I can tell he's being a good supervisor. He's always providing the service.
I want to consult you.
So you need, for example, to ask letter of reference for people that you know about you. For example, your teachers. Maybe, for example, you did an internship in a company. So maybe your boss there cannot vouch for you. So this guy works here for 3 months for internship. He's a good guy. He's always come here, never came late. He can tell something about you.
So the next step I have to.
So you need asking people that you have been working with to provide letters of reference for you. There would be your teachers, there would be people that you volunteer in their company, like did an internship, and volunteer work that you did.
But I want to become your student to get your.
But you need to be able to go to my classes then.
How to enjoy it?
I don't know, as a student or as a outsider. For example, everyone can come into class and watch in my class, but you need to be on record. You need to be on the list of attendance. Yes, for example, I have 36 students. Every time I start my class, I call them and see they're there. They are on the record. You need to be on the record. Yes. It's different if you just go by yourself and sit and watch, but you're not in the record. So it means that you cannot take the test, you cannot graduate it, because you're not on the record. University's record.
When she said first time, I asked her what's your major, she told me law.
For example, you can go there and watch my class just to learn, but they don't give you the grade because you're not on the record. See?
When your class will start?
I have my class on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Wednesday.
Yes, every Wednesday and every other Friday. So for example, this week I have only Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday and Friday. The following week, only Wednesday.
Yifenglou.
Yifenglou, yes.
No.
5th floor.
5th floor.
My classes are 9:50. I don't remember the room, maybe 5:15, I don't know. But you just be able to go there and watch it. But you need to be on record if you really wanted to be my student, right?
Art or science? Art.
Miss Chen is the Chinese teacher.
Miss Chen, she works for BIA.
BIA.
BIA is Beijing International Education Institute. And she was in the office here. So she was responsible for teachers like me. I'm not employee of the university. I'm employee from the BIA. So the BIA has agreement with the university. This is why I'm here. So my salary comes from the BIA, not from the university.
Can I talk to him?
Yes, you can talk. Okay, you can talk to her. Yes.
I want to his phone number to contact him. Learning the BIA.
How do you have my WeChat?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
My name is William.
Are you in the? Send me a message so I can come on top here. Send me something, a thumbs up or something. William, okay. So let's. Can I send her contact? Contact.
不是那个，
为什么你怕打吗？你要接你怕打？怕打就是吓死你。
你发给我，我会发给你。
I send her WeChat contact.
If I have time, I want to become your student.
Okay. It's not only about time. You need to ask the university to put you on record to watch my class as a student. You can watch my class anytime you want, but you will not be my student unless you are on the record.
In these times, I'm preparing for the IELTS. Do you know IELTS?
IELTS? No.
IELTS.
No, I don't know.
IELTS is the international exams
For English? IELTS? You mean IELTS?
Oh yes, IELTS.
IELTS, right?
IELTS.
Yes.
Do you have any methods to improve my grades? Because my grade is about 5 or 5.5.
What's the maximum grade in IELTS? I'm not sure. For example, you're improving your English right now just because you came in here.
Oh yes, yes.
For example, the IELTS test has also, for example, you have to listen to somebody talking, and then they ask about some questions, right?
Yes.
No.
I don't know if you have to. You don't have to talk to someone, right?
I was just want to
Well,
come to
when
here.
you're studying for a test, grammar is maybe more important. But as I'm telling you, grammar is important for the tests, right? But when you communicate with someone talking, maybe you don't have to pay too much attention to grammar. It helps you to speak better, to speak correctly. But you need that practice to understand each other. But to do the test, it's always good to study grammar, right?
I just come to here to protect my spoken English.
Yes.
Because my spoken English is very poor. But many of the Chinese students will get so difficulties to protect the spoken English.
Yes, keep practicing, read good books in English. It also helps a lot. When you're reading books, you're learning how to spell correctly. You're learning how to put a good sentence together, a very good structure. Because you're learning by reading as well.
What?
You forgot what I told you.
You can do all the papers.
Why are you doing this now? You are not like.
So what time is it now? They close the light 10, right? Oh, it's not 10 yet. They turned the lights a little bit earlier today.
Alright.
No. So everyone is.
So the English corner was good today, right? Lots of people.
Yes.
So for a long time that I don't see too many people in the English corner.
Okay.
Because the weather is always.
Yes, the weather is helping a lot. I understand that.
It will be fine soon. The weather is getting.
Yes, it's getting better and better. Yes, good. But the weather is not an excuse because when it's raining, we're just under the building.
But these Chinese are.
Huh?
Do you know how cold it is in Zhejiang? In Shandong, I never experienced this weather before.
Because you don't come outside of your house.
In
We have heating system.
in December, the last few English corners of the last year, only 1 or 2,
Only
3
me
students.
and you, right?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you and me. But the last one was in December. The end of December, I had only 3 students.
I think most of them are native people. Only they can get accustomed to this weather.
Local, not
Local.
I'm not native. Sadly.
You are native, but you are not local here.
Alright, you are always right.
No, I'm not always right, but native and local is different, right?
So when are you graduating again? This year?
Because I don't want to graduate.
I don't. You wanted to be a student forever, right?
No.
It's good.
I just have 3 months, then I will go to my internship.
Are you gonna be a student forever, right?
No.
Is it good? Is it
Yeah,
good to be a student
we
forever?
doctors are student forever.
Yes.
Up to death we need to learn every day because you have patients and you need to take care of it. And you have a senior every time. You need to learn from your professor, from your senior.
So why you're not telling people when are you graduating? Why are you hiding?
I'm just kidding.
Because he has his purpose.
No. Who? What purpose can I have? Marcelo,
Huh?
you tell me.
Purpose for what?
I told you like I don't want to graduate. She's thinking I'm telling you this on purpose.
No, not you. Not
This is cunning way of thinking, right?
Other people.
I heard that Jews are
Okay.
cunning, but I didn't know.
Goodbye.
that
See you next time.
Yeah, because I'm smarter than Jews.
She's smarter than Jews.
Then what?
Like her. She can say like this.
Smarter than what? Than whom?
Jews.
People.
Jude.
Jude.
Yeah. Jude.
What?
What is
Jude
that?
is single and Jews is plural.
What is Jude?
Hey Jude.
Ah, Oh, from the music. Oh, okay, from that song.
Jude is a Jew.
I thought it's Jew.
Jew
Yeah,
is
Jew.
Jewish, like
Yes.
someone believing.
Yes.
I'm Muslim because I believe in Islam. Maybe he's
But you don't
Christian.
follow properly, right?
I follow properly.
No, you told me some things that you didn't follow because you're here in China.
No, I mean, yeah. Sometimes you can do sin. You don't do sins?
Well, it's not because I'm here in China I stopped believing in what I believe.
No.
So.
I believe
I
in
still,
what
I still
believe,
doing
but
the same thing.
I told you I'm not following. This means I'm doing something.
Yeah, he told me that because he was here in China, he stopped following some of his
Yeah,
beliefs.
The sin is
When I was there back home, I was so strict, like to follow everything strictly, because there you have the atmosphere, the environment, right? When I came to China, I changed a little bit, but there I'm doing sins, but that doesn't mean I don't follow,
in his
and I
culture,
don't believe what I believe.
He is unable to talk to another girl.
Who?
Talk to girls are impolite in your culture.
Yeah, because the girls also have their own clothing. They don't wear like you guys here, shorts and show your everything.
Huh. You are misunderstanding Chinese culture.
No, I'm not misunderstanding.
For example, I told this everyone because I'm not ashamed of it, my beliefs, right?
Yeah.
I'm very different than most men are. So, for example, I don't believe in sex before marriage, and not because I came here in China I would change that.
Yeah.
So I lived like this my whole life. Sometimes people make fun of me. Well, you're that and
But
that.
Chinese tradition also don't allow sex before marriage, but they are doing it very normally. I can show you.
Yes, but for example,
It's not like I'm not following or not believing in something. Everyone believe in their own. When it's come to like debating, they say I believe in, but no one say that I did something wrong or something like that. That I don't follow.
yes, but for example, there's two ways why you can accept a rule or not.
Yeah.
For example, you can say, well, there's some statistic studies who show this is better. This is one way. This is scientific way, and also there's spiritual way. For example, you're doing this because you believe in God. You believe this is a rule from Him. This is you believe, right? So when I talk to people who does not believe in God, I give the scientific reason.
Yeah.
Right? When I talk with people who believes in God, I give the spiritual reason.
Yeah.
So I maybe follow because of both of them.
Yeah.
So I put them together.
We
There's
also
a
do the
spiritual
same
one
thing.
and also the scientific one.
Well, I have a question for
Okay.
you guys. It's like you guys believe different religions, but every religion has a different God. So which
Yes.
one is the real God? So who is God?
Yes, this is the first question when I was a missionary. So we started our lecture about God, asking, who is God for you?
I have no God.
So before I answer this, who is God for you? Do you believe in God? If you do, who is God for you?
I'm
Because it's very hard.
curious about this because
Be-
it's hard for me
That's
to
called
believe
theology.
God.
Yes.
You know why did we talk about this first? Because it's very hard for you to follow something that you don't know. You need to know who is God. Otherwise you can never follow or obey Him or whatever. Right?
They don't know
Right.
actually. That's why they say they don't have God.
So the way I believe in God is like this. I believe God is our Heavenly Father. He's the Father of our spirits. Right? And He made this plan. He created the earth, put us here so we have an opportunity to have our body, in our spirit is inside of our body. This is why you're alive. So that is when the spirit separates from the body. Right? So He came here to progress, to learn, and a lot of things like this. And I believe that He's our Heavenly Father. Right? He's a person just like us, but He's perfect, and we are not perfect. And He put some rules for helping us to go through the mortality in a better. For example, as I told you about the rules, some people feel like the rules are restrictions, right? For example, why does parents give a lot of restrictions for the kids? Because they wanted their well-being, right? If they run them freely, they'll go to the street and get hit by a car and die, right? So there are rules. You never go to the street alone. You're not allowed yet because you're not big enough. You don't understand things, right? So the same thing is for us. This is their commandments,
Okay.
right?
So you believe in God like this way. We
Yes.
believe in God simple. Like we say, God is one.
God is one. Number second is no one can be in his like the same as him.
Yeah, but
And he is not begotten and he is not begotten. Like he don't have sons or daughters and he don't have mother
give
and
him a
father.
name like Allah.
Yeah. No, let me tell you, it's Allah is his name. Like your name is Liberty. His name is Marcelo. My name is Shuja. So her name is maybe something, right? So it's Allah is his own name. Someone name you know. Allah is his own name. God is people call him in English God. It's like different language, but his own name is God. So I told you, God is one. No one can be in his same Tibe. You know, Chinese you say Tibe. He is not begotten. He don't have father and mother, and he is not begotten. Like he don't have son and daughters.
But how?
And no one can be like when
how
he want
God
to do.
is born. He doesn't have mom.
No, he don't have those things.
I believe he did. Like for example, we have a parent, and they have parents, and their grandparents,
We
Yeah.
don't
and we have
believe.
sons.
Yeah,
Right?
in Christianity, God did have parents.
Yes.
So if God have parents, so what are the difference between God and us?
Yeah,
God
there's
is us.
different
Maybe
beliefs.
someone can.
It's
Anyone can be
complicated.
God. God can be someone who is not, who don't have, who don't need like us what we need. If he needs, so why he is a God? Why I should call him a God? He's the same as me. He need to eat. He need to have sons and daughters. God don't need those things
But why should you listen to him?
because he is God.
My reason is different, right? Why do you have to listen to your parents?
Because they give us life.
Because
before
They
we,
gave you life. They
before
also
we came to the stage of adults, we have no ability to take care of ourselves.
yes, you don't have so much understanding about
Yeah.
life and everything else. So they want your well-being, so they're giving you the direction, right? So the same thing is God. So if you were, for example, if the kids does not obey their fathers and they get into drugs, they're gonna be, for example, they're gonna be in the worst situation of their parents, right? But if they're good kids, studying hard, never get involved into drugs, they can be as good as their parents, even better, right? They get even more education. And this is how I see God. So he provides this whole environment. He provides this mortality, this planet, whatever he created for us to come here and have our mortal experience. And if we take the opportunity to do well, like obey his commandments, do it the better we can, we one day will be like him. But some people will not take advantage. They would not believe in him. They will like, this is a bullshit. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna live my life the way it is. I'm gonna be drunk all the time. They're never gonna arrive to the same level of him.
Yeah, but you know,
It's not.
we
For
don't
example,
compare God
the other day we
with
were
our
talking about
mother.
reward, right? So I'm doing this because you're gonna expect a reward in the next life. It's not actually about a reward,
Marcelo,
right?
like what we believe, you compare God mostly to father and mother. Maybe we think we love God more than our father and mother, even more than our prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, even more than any prophet. We love God. Like if it comes to God, everything go away. Just God comes. You go away, him,
But it's
everyone.
really obscure. You haven't seen him in your life.
Yeah.
But you
The
love
first
him
belief
more
is
than your
you need to
parents.
believe in things which, have you seen electron, proton? So why you believe?
What's that?
Because it have some properties. You can see those
You start
properties.
believing those things because you start studying and seeing the
Yeah,
effects,
yeah.
and you put it, the effect to use. You can have some advantage, right?
Yeah.
For example, electricity, you don't see it, but now you study, you have harness the power, and now use it for the lights and everything else, right? Computers and everything. The same thing is in God. If you don't know Him, you can never love Him. This is why we study the Scripture. So we knew Him, His personality, how He deals with His sons and daughters, and then we become to love Him because we get to know Him. For example, I can tell you this, right? I pray myself before sleeping. I have some answers of my own prayers.
Yeah.
So this is my own testimony, but I cannot give it to someone else because it's a personal, right? So as I told you the other day, right? I can bring the salt, but you cannot describe the taste of the salt. You need to do it yourself. Otherwise, you never know.
Got it.
For example, I'm not living. My parents are not here. They're not seeing well. If I'm keeping the commandments, they're not. I'm very far away from them. I'm doing not because of my parents anymore. Because I got to know myself. I told you, right? I could not go on a mission without knowing for myself.
Okay, if you have a machine, right? You made a machine a company. Like we human beings, let us compare, we are a machine. So we need to have some handbook or guidance how to operate this machine. So God give us a book. This is book how you operate yourself. Like mobile phone, everything which is made by a company have a book, handbook, how to use these things. So we human beings, how do we teach what we need to do, what we doesn't need to
Let
do,
me
so
ask
we have
you
a handbook.
something. I heard that in Pakistan almost 99% people are Muslims.
Yeah.
But what if a child, when he starts to form his own consciousness, he think that I don't want to believe in Islam?
So,
But what will happen? He like.
What
I don't
happened
know.
if you desert?
yeah, if I become like Christian or something else, I don't believe in Islam, right? Nothing will happen. What will happen?
Also, people can choose whether they believe it or not.
You can choose it your own thing. You don't want to be Muslim, you don't.
But you know something. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. It doesn't change the reality, right?
Yeah.
So if there is God, it doesn't matter if you believe in Him or not. It doesn't change His reality.
But this thing doesn't happen.
For example, if you don't believe in electricity, the electricity is still there.
Because it's really
Right?
hard for
okay.
Chinese to
Do you
accept
see
God.
electricity in the wires? You touch it, then you will see.
But Chinese have their own gods, right? What is
Then I will never see the light again.
what is about the temples that we have here? There's a lot of them. They
Buddhism
believe in
Can you
something.
see light?
here, over there.
This is not light. You see things. This is not light.
You mean they are?
But you can use light to see other things.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about bulb. Light
What are you
means
talking about?
light and
You're
dark.
telling me that the God we cannot see, but if we cannot see, how could we believe?
Light. God is a light. You cannot see light. Your
There's a lot
eyes
of things that you
cannot.
cannot believe it, and not things that you cannot see it, but you still believe it. For
Can
example,
you see
you
light?
cannot see electricity, can you?
Is it not that?
No, it's not
You
light.
cannot
How
see
can
the
you
air.
see
We can
light?
prove it
It's a
exists.
spin
Exactly.
something, right?
So you cannot see the
You
electricity,
cannot
right?
see light.
You cannot see a lot of things, but you
Why?
still can prove it.
Can you show me light?
For example,
where is light?
the
Is the- where
science is
light?
getting to a point. It's very
Where is
hard
light?
for
I
you to
can't-
deny the existence of
Can
God.
you
I
see
told you
light?
about
There is no other. So
how
like,
things have to
where
come
we can
together
see
so we have
all
life in
things.
this planet.
You can see
200 things.
Yeah.
There's not enough planets in the universe with the same
Marcelo, his
requirements.
thing is saying if there is no light, why you can see things? I am telling him if there is no God, why you can see things?
If there is no light, why I can see those things reflected on my eyes?
You like what?
Reflect on my eyes.
Oh, reflecting the.
Yes.
Eyes. But there is, you can touch it. Can you touch light?
No, I can't.
Yeah. So why there is no light, man? Why you say there is light?
So what is created?
Yeah, I'm telling you there is no light. He's confused, man. That's what you believe, but you can't touch it. You can't see it, but we are believing it. There is no light, but we say there is light. Yeah, there is light, but you can't see it.
You mean it's just
It's a.
mistaken visual?
It's just a delusion, light.
Maybe I'm gonna buy that book that I told you about from the guy from Singapore,
Really?
talking about the relationship between the symbols from the Chinese language related to the history in the beginning of the Bible. It's very, very interesting.
Really?
Yes, I told you about it, remember?
But Chinese civilization exists 5,000 years ago. How come it come from Bible?
Yes, this is make you wonder, right?
Yes.
You see the explanation where these symbols represent, and they put it together, and you see a lot of relationship with the history and things from the Bible.
You remind
How
me
can
of
that be?
something like how to say mom in Brazilian language.
How to
Mom.
Ah.
Mom.
How to say mom in Brazilian language? Mãe?
Yeah.
Ah.
How to say in your mother tongue?
Mãe?
How to say mom? M-O-M.
Mine.
Mãe.
Mine.
Mãe. Pai is a father. Mãe is mother.
Mine.
Mãe and
What's
pai.
it
Do you
in
know
word?
pai?
What's it in word, mom?
Huh?
How to call mom in word?
Ami.
Ami.
Ami Abu.
How do you,
Pashto.
Pashto.
why are you asking this? I don't.
Let me think. Ma.
See, like the initial letter is M.
Mm.
It's originated like before human beings came from the African land. So it's a proof that the most familiar person to us is mom. So the language is almost the same.
Oh,
In
okay.
Chinese,
There is no
mama.
light.
Also M. So what you said is that
Science.
the civilization of
Science is
Chinese
the-
language originates
the study
from
of
Bible.
nature is
No, it's
to
not.
some
It's not. It's
degree-
not
study
originating
everything
from
around
Bible.
you.
But for example, the
Science.
Chinese language is kind of
Study
a.
of nature.
It's based
Creativity
on
and
symbols.
science.
For example, our language is not based on symbols. It's based on the sounds. Right? Letters make sounds. But you see, for example, you make a symbol. You draw something. So the drawing of something is related to the story in the Bible. So the way you write your language is a way of preserving the history. You could not do this in the English language, Portuguese language, because it's a phonetic language. Your language is kind of a symbol.
Those are all.
So you're able to preserve
That
that
is
history.
nature.
It's a very interesting thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ma.
And there's some, for example, the guy also comments about some earlier emperors, their cultures, their way of their do some rituals. There has to do with the gods that they believe in the beginning. This was being lost through the history.
Do you know matter? Do you know matter?
Yes. So before anything else, Chinese people are Christians. This is what the guy is trying to prove.
You occupy some
Oh
place.
my God.
Yes.
In ancient times, there is no religions. There is no religions at all. Except Buddhism or
Yes.
No,
And then this
Chinese
one comes even before Buddhism.
Nature. You.
no one.
Mm.
It's hard to prove because it happens thousands of years ago.
Well, this is the thing, right? We never, for example, if you don't want it to be convinced, no one can convince you. But the thing is,
and experiment. It's
you
all
always.
science.
This is what I believe. This is how I got my own answer, right? If you do believe there is something, at least something, higher power or whatever.
Observation 就是
So, do you believe that he can maybe answer your prayers?
Knowledge. You know knowledge?
I don't know.
For example,
Science.
how do you think
科学是
if there is a God, He's gonna
什
answer
么
us?
知识？
Do you think He's gonna appear to us like a
你看
come from the heaven and
就是
appear
这
to
个
us?
东西有，就是你
Because,
的
for
身
example,
体
this is
我
why we
看
study the
你的身
Scripture.
体的
We learn what is the God's ways
shape
of doing
怎么
things.
样
For
那个
example,
就是我看你的眼睛
when
就是
you're
跟
you have the word
有
conscience.
研
What is
究
conscience for you?
这就是 science。我看，然后
Everyone is
if I do some
entitled
experiment,
for to
search,
feeling the
search,
Spirit
if I
of the
told you-
Lord,
yeah,
the God.
search,
Right?
if I show you how
So,
much
for
is
in my
1,
religion,
2,
when you
3,
get
4,
baptized,
5,
if you're keeping the
yeah,
commandments,
5,
being worthy, you have the
this is
entitled for
also
the whole
science.
time.
It's a knowledge, you know. I
But
have
everyone
5
is entitled to feel it.
and experiment.
For example, when you're feeling good about something, so you heard a message, a good message, or someone is, and you feel good about it. This is a way of the Spirit telling you this is a true thing. Nothing is more powerful than the touch of the Spirit. For example, you can see something and you forgot, but if the Spirit touches your spirit, you can never
你做
forget.
了实验也好，你知道什么知
So
识，
that's
那个叫
consciousness.
science。
This is not consciousness. For example, I know, for example, when I pray, when I receive some answers from, I know it could
那
not
个
come
结
from
果
me.
就是科学。
Sometimes I have thoughts in my mind, I'm feeling so good, I have this idea. I knew I never had experience in this way, I never did it like that, I never have any knowledge about this. But this idea is coming to me, so sometimes from another person.
You need to use
And it's
your
very
brain
hard
and
to
eye.
recognize it.
things.
Not hard. If you're not used to it, you
So
kind of
as
actually
long
miss
as you
it.
study more,
But
you
as
can
I'm becoming more
totally
experienced through my life, I'm becoming
就是你知道
easier
就是
for me to
做
recognize
就是
answers from God
如果
or
你
some directions
吃
in my
多
life.
你会变胖，你不
And
吃多你会
if you
变
believe
瘦
that God
这就是
really does exist and you pray to Him,
就是
He's gonna
这
answer.
都是
Because
science，就是你知道
if
什
I'm
么
telling
你
you
就
it is
知
true
道
that you're a daughter of God,
Okay.
He loves
Then
you.
you
He
know
wants
that
to
knowledge is
actually
just
come
science.
back to His presence one day. Right?
Science is knowledge.
So,
If you have
but He
knowledge,
cannot
knowledge is power.
interfere with your freedom.
知识的力量。
Because we cannot
Agreed.
prosper, progress,
So if you-
become
if-
better
如果你的
if
知
you are
识
just
不好，you
forced
have
to
more
do something.
power.
We need to learn by experience. For example, if
If
you want
I
to do
know
bad
who is
stuff,
your
if you
mommy,
want to
who is
go
your
away
daddy,
from
what
Him,
are
if you
you
feel you want to
doing,
study, He's
what's
gonna
going
let
on
you.
in your mind, I
He's not
can
gonna force
control
you to do to come back to His presence anyway.
control you.
So
会
great
控
knowledge.
制你。
I need to go. It's getting
Yes,
cold.
yes.
I'm very sick.
如果我
Alright,
是你的
okay.
老师
See you.
你做了什么
See you
坏
next
事
time.
我告诉
Bye bye.
他。那
But I'm a good man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a good student.
但是你要做就可以。We're discussing science.
Science about
Yeah.
what?
Just to tell him what is science. He asked me what is science. So I told him the knowledge which comes through
Tell me some-
observation.
Yeah, knowledge
some
comes through
interesting,
observation, and then you analyze the data, and then you end up with some conclusions about the data that you analyzed, right?
Do you know?
Ah.
I can give you a joke. Like
A joke?
you know, there was a teacher in our high school. So F is equal to ma. Force is equal to mass, and want them to do. But it will be like nature. It's like nature. You can't change it. There are a lot of things going on. Maybe you don't. Some people believe some. Like dark matter. Dark matter you cannot see.
Matter. What's dark matter?
Dark matter.
You can spell it.
Hmm?
Wait. Let me. DARK. Dark
Okay, I don't know it.
matter.
暗物质。 暗物质。暗物质。暗物质。哦，dark
大
matter。
的意思。
dark material。
Yeah. Dark matter. Do you know boson?
不脏，
Boson is a particle,
不脏是黑洞。
but it's a dark matter. Boson, just like proton, neutron, electron, just like quark. It's physics, woolly.
Physics.
Yeah. It's physics.
Okay, I feel confused.
It's science. This is science. 科学。
That is interesting.
可能有时候你会不相信，你会觉得这是咱们脑子进去了。
But I have to believe it. It's fact
Yeah.
and reality.
But you cannot change your nature. Nature cannot be changed.
But I can,
You can be better.
but I can't wear it. 求一者，我不能违背真理啊。
你会被洗脑。I will wash your brain. You will not remember anything. Brainwash. Let me do a brainwash
This
for
sounds
you.
not good. But so I think it's time to leave.
Yeah, let's go. I'm also feeling
See you.
cold. Bye bye. See
See
you.
you.
All right, so I'm gonna see one day that we can eat my
See you.
salad.
See you next Wednesday.
All right, see you next Wednesday.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
It's good experience.
All right, so you're going this way too?
Yes.
All right.
Go.
All
Go
right.
this way.
All right. See you.
Are you thirsty? I have a drink
Oh,
for you.
oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, see you around. See you. I don't know. I was curious. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe. It's not. I could. I'm sure. You're gonna be crazy. Damn. You see kids helping their parents. It's not because I'm fun. Mm.